Hey guys, if you enjoy the Drunken Peasants podcast, be sure to go to audibletrial.com/Drunken Peasants to get your free audio book. They have books like The God Delusion or Mr. Mercedes by Stephen King, also 150,000 other titles to choose from, so be sure to check that out. It supports the show and you get a free audiobook in the process, so what the fuck do you have to lose? Tacos. The Drunken Peasants podcast is satirical in nature, and while we do occasionally delve into serious issues and discussions, our primary purpose is to entertain and amuse. In other words, don't take this shit too seriously.
I went on my Skype today, and on my Skype, it says that Brett Keane has not shared his details with me.
So I think that you got offended by that.
You're acting like a child by doing what you're doing.
You'll do whatever it takes in order to get views and your image out there.
Coming to you live from the frigid armpit of America, this is the Drunken Peasants podcast with Ben and TJ, bringing you opinions of the news from an altered perspective.
Fuck it! Say, man, you got a joint? No, not on me, man.
I don't have facts to back this up.
It'd be a lot cooler if you did.
What the fuck are you talking about, atheist?
It's okay.
You're nothing, TJ. You're garbage.
I just want to be light.
You're garbage, TJ.
And now, here are your hosts, Ben and TJ.
We'll do it live. We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Welcome to the Drunken Peasants podcast, where we DP the fuck out of the news. I am Ben, and I am here with TJ and Scotty.
Indeed.
Yes.
TJ is awesome.
When TJ got into the room, when TJ came into this room, when you were in the restroom, Scotty, I was like, TJ, you're not allowed to have a phone anymore. And he's like, why? And I go, because you lose it all the time. And he's like, how'd you know?
Fucking thing sucks.
TJ, everyone knows you lose your phone all the time.
No,
it's like common knowledge.
What are you talking
How many
about?
nights is like, sure, my phone is at Ben's house?
Oh, man. I remember, like...
Call Ben.
I remember the one day TJ was like, is my phone there? I'm like, I just looked everywhere. I can't find it. It's
Are you
not
sure?
here. And then he's like, I really think it's still there. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not here.
Where
It's
did it
not
end up being, TJ?
I don't remember.
Probably on the couch or something.
Maybe. I don't remember. No, it wasn't in the couch. It was somewhere more obscure.
More obscure than the couch.
In his hand.
I found my phone in some weird places, man.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, I don't know.
Nothing sexual. Nothing that exciting, but strange places.
TJ shoved the phone up his urethra.
Oh my God. So you gave yourself like a cell phone catheter.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I did do that once, but I remembered it was there though. You have trouble forgetting. A phone
Probably because you left the vibrate on. So you're like, where is it? And then you
Well, yeah, that's the whole purpose. I put on vibrate and then I kept calling it with another phone. So, it's like my cheap urethral penis play vibrator. You know what I'm saying? Sounding, that's what they call that.
Yeah.
It's a vibrating sounding thing. Yeah.
I see.
Yeah.
I see.
Well, Ben's the one that took it there, man. Don't blame me.
All I said was you lose your phone all the time.
No, you fucking started implying the sexual shit. So, that's where I take it, Ben.
That is where you take it.
That is where I take
You
it.
take it to
So
sexual
I have a
shit.
question for you guys. What was your favorite WrestleMania moment?
Honestly, the best part in general for me was probably the best match of the night, and that was Orton versus Rollins, honestly.
So that was your favorite match?
Yeah, that was my favorite match. I don't know about a single moment.
So there was nothing that you were like, oh, that's the best part of the show.
Oh, I guess when Seth Rollins came out and won.
TJ, what about you?
I would say probably a three-way tie between
the Ronda Rousey cameo, which I felt was like probably the best cameo I've seen in wrestling, almost period. I would say period.
It was somewhat unexpected.
I totally didn't
I
see it
jokingly
coming.
said something about her getting involved when I saw that she was
just
there.
The way the moment was planned and timed and shit, it just really worked well. Because you know everyone hates Stephanie. She fucking is great at generating that sort of heat towards herself.
Yes.
So it was great to, because The Rock can't hit her. She's like, what you gonna, she slaps The Rock, what you gonna do, fucking hit me? And, back in the Attitude Era, yeah, The Rock would have just fucking...
He would have
rock bottom that
yeah.
bitch on the spot, but because now everyone's so sensitive, they can't do that. So instead, they bring Ronda Rousey in there. Like, yeah, I can't hit you, but Ronda Rousey can. It's like, what the fuck is even the difference? Ronda Rousey hits just as hard as most fucking men do, but that's okay. But whatever. That's a totally separate issue. Still a great moment. Because now Stephanie can get her ass handed to her a little bit.
Yeah.
And that was awesome. And then I also liked when The Undertaker won and kind of restored his redemption thing. And just seeing him look pretty decent. Obviously nowhere near his prime, but doing some of the old school moves and actually literally old school. And then also just seeing Seth Rollins come out there and give us a satisfying conclusion to a main event that you didn't even think could have a satisfying conclusion.
I'll be honest, when the whole dick pic thing happened with Seth Rollins, I thought he was finished.
Really?
Because the company is so PC and they care about their image so much. Even though he's a heel, I think I didn't think for a moment that within 2 months he would be the champion.
The thing is that it all kind of just depends on how the public reacts to something too. Like when Anthony Weiner, their politician, had his dick pics come out.
And what a terrible name to have that happen.
Yeah, of course.
I know.
Just the most unfortunate name to have that happen to you. At least, as bad as the banana thing was, at least my last name is not Banana Bottom or something.
Yeah.
The difference, though, a big difference there was Anthony Weiner was trying to send it as a private message and accidentally tweeted it.
Sure.
And this was released without Seth Rollins' consent by his ex-girlfriend.
Very true. So I think
also a different job.
And just
one's an entertainer.
Yeah, I think people don't really expect the same. If it came out that he was really doing something bad or something, I think people would be pissed. But I don't think most people saw it as a big deal. And it was really his privacy being violated by someone else.
Right.
So he was being victimized in the situation.
One thing about it though is for wrestlers in the WWE, being active on social media is part of your job. Whether either you do it or you hire someone to pretend like they're you to do it.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
But because it's such a big thing, when a wrestler tweets something or posts something on Facebook, it actually posts a copy of it posts on the WWE website. So Seth Rollins' dick was on the WWE website until someone caught it and deleted it. And that was all going on while we were at the show here in Columbus.
That's crazy.
That's when all that shit happened.
That's pretty funny.
Yeah. It's pretty crazy.
I wonder if he knew about it when he was performing that night.
I don't know. He didn't miss a step if that was the case.
Well,
I
the
don't
show
think-
must go on.
Yeah, you can't let that affect your performance.
But Hogan's had sex shit leak. The WWE is used to this happening. They've had the stars go on to pose in Playboy and stars go on to fucking be in porn videos.
But the Playboy thing was encouraged back in the day.
Sure. But still, it's not the first time we've seen someone in that sport naked. So I don't really think it's not that big of a taboo at this point.
But what was Triple H's reasoning for not putting China into the Hall?
But
of
we
Fame?
all know that was bogus reasoning
Right.
anyway.
Anyway,
Yeah.
the whole show's not about wrestling, but yes, I thought it was a good show overall. I'll give it 3.5 out of 5 stars.
I would give it probably 4.5 out of 5 stars.
Okay.
I'm gonna give it 4 stars out of 5.
So I got the most enjoyment.
And are you rating that based on every WrestleMania ever, or just
I would say
the ones I've seen.
I have seen almost every WrestleMania, and I would say that's probably in my top 5 at this point.
Wow. Yeah.
I found it very enjoyable. welcome distraction from just like the bullshit minutia of life. I actually found myself really getting into it. So,
but wrestling's fake, TJ. How can you like something if it's fake?
I don't know.
Bullshit.
I don't know. I wish I was more into like real stuff, like CSI Miami.
Yeah.
And Harry
Walking
Potter,
Dead.
and The Walking Dead and shit. Although I did watch The Walking Dead last night too.
That's fake, TJ. How can you like that?
I don't know.
The zombies aren't real, TJ. They're just people.
Or
CGI, man.
I go to the mall and tell me zombies aren't real.
I guess that's a good point.
All right, so before we get into troll or not a troll, there was a video. I had even asked TJ if we were going to even talk about this, because a lot of times with people like this, I feel like they're trying to get attention.
I think that's true. I think the guy is.
And I don't always necessarily want to give them attention if they're talking shit.
Well,
especially if their video has a bunch of bullshit that's not true in it.
But I feel like the stuff he says in this video is it warrants a discussion, because this is actually something I've come across a few times now. So I'd like to address it.
Okay.
Publicly.
Well, I will let you primarily address it then.
Okay.
You're fucking garbage, TJ.
All right. So the title of this video is "The Amazing Atheist Supports Copyright Strikes Against Commentators."
Okay.
So obviously this guy's gonna have a mountain of evidence to prove his case.
That you support it.
Yeah. Obviously.
What's up, guys? James from the Sinners and Saints podcast, and this is going to be
Get out of the way, you ugly
letter
fuck.
to the Amazing Atheist /
Want to look at my beautiful
why
self.
TJ supports flagging videos even if he does commentary on them. So, as you guys know, we run
So
the
you'll have
Sinners and
evidence,
Saints
right? So I'm sure this. Okay, so he's making his premise, but I'm sure he's going to come out with a ton.
By
of
the way, this Sinners and Saints channel has been around for like 7 years, and they just recently started doing videos that are very similar to the format of what we do. And
It's because this is the recipe for success, Ben.
Obviously people started seeing it, and that's why we're getting so many clones around lately.
But we cannot be imitated. We cannot be duplicated unless some people that are way more talented than us steal the formula. Then we're fucked. But this guy, I think we're safe.
podcast, we do a similar thing that the Drunken Peasants do, where we play videos and we comment on them.
Sure.
I did get sort of the idea from him, though we were doing podcasts before that, and of course he didn't get the idea originally himself. As TJ himself says, everything's derivative. You have to get ideas from everyone else so that you can make a better product. But the funny thing is last night we did a video with TJ, the Amazing Atheist, in it. And we commented on it. Honestly, I was surprised what the hosts and guests said. I like the Amazing Atheist. I still do. But there was a lot of people who were critical of him, whereas I like him. So I was surprised where it went. But after that video uploaded, to my surprise, we got a copyright strike. Now, I thought maybe it was from the Right Wing Watch or one of the other users, but lo and behold, the Amazing Atheist has all of his videos copyrighted through full screens.
Okay, so I don't believe that you actually got a strike, because a strike is a very bad thing.
Right. You don't.
I'm not gonna address what he just said, but technically, multi-channel networks claim your content. That's how it works. So basically they claim all the content, and so they administer your content on YouTube in a sense. So if someone else posts a clip from you, you're basically using the content they have claimed. That's how it works. So this guy to say TJ went ahead and claimed this on me, this is an automated response from Fullscreen when they see their content or someone on their network's content being re-uploaded or used.
Yeah, there was one time where we played a video that had a clip of an Amazing Atheist video in it, and I got the content ID notice.
Exactly.
Before.
It's called content ID.
Do you think TJ went home and flagged me after we were done doing the show?
Yes, I sure did. I went to my house. I'm like, Ben used a clip from my video.
But anyway,
fuck that piece of shit.
I want to back up a little bit. You said you got a strike. You did not get a strike.
No, you don't get a strike.
A strike means that, you can't post videos over 15 minutes. You can't stream live anymore. That's what a strike does. That's what, and you only get something like that for community guideline violations, or if you post something like from Viacom or something like that. Someone who has an agreement with YouTube that YouTube will not allow any of their shit to be posted because of lawsuits and things like that. I think what you mean is that you got a content ID match.
Yeah, and it was blocked.
Right.
The video was blocked.
From monetizing.
The video was not blocked. It was just blocked from monetizing. Basically, it was saying like, oh, it's going to monetize towards me. But you know what? Like, honestly, I've never seen anything on my full screen statistics that says there's this big torrent of money coming in from ID matching your content all over the place. So I don't know where the money actually would go or be monetized to, but I have nothing to fucking do with it.
Whatever, TJ, you support it.
So full screen, there is a way you can on YouTube put all your videos into this catalog, and if you use any of them, then you will get copyright strike and you can't monetize. In fact, The Amazing Atheist can monetize and he could get the money from it. The funny thing about this is that, TJ, you do the exact same thing on the Drunken Peasants. And
you're an idiot, dude. Dude, you're an idiot. He didn't do this.
He didn't get a strike, too.
And here's the thing. And here's the fucking the worst part about it. Instead of like sending TJ a message like, "Did you do this? Did you want to flag us?"
He says in the video that he did. But
what where? How did he contact?
I don't know. Maybe he sent it to Drunken Peasants. I don't know. I didn't see it because I get like literally, I would say every 3 days I get like 500 messages. And if there's not a video in them, then I just delete them because that's the only reason I go to Facebook.
But
messages.
the thing is too, whenever, I mean, like, yeah, you're doing the same thing we do, but you know what we have to do all the fucking time? Whenever we come up with, like, oh, you have a content ID match, or, oh, this is, you have, someone claims the copyright on this. You know what we have to do in that situation? We fucking take the video down, we edit out the offending parts, and we put it back up. Because that's part of the fucking...
I mean, every time. And we don't even bother, like, combating, you know, like, or appealing.
Yeah, disputing
them.
We don't fuck with it. You know why? Because it's just a waste of fucking time. Look, if you want to do what we do, if you want to be a little Drunken Peasants clone, then you can't also be a whiny little bitch every time you come up against some content ID or some copyright shit. It's part of the fucking game. Be prepared to take your shit down, edit it out, and put it back up without it.
I think
we do it all the time.
I think he's trying to imply in this video, though, that they said some bad things about you, so you wouldn't sick full screen on them.
Bullshit. I don't give a fuck. You can say you can sit there and fucking insult me all day.
I can guarantee you, TJ doesn't watch YouTube. I watch YouTube. He doesn't.
Yeah, that's another point I was gonna make. TJ did not see your guys' shit. I mean, you think TJ has like a fucking team of watchdogs, basically just like monitoring the internet? Someone says something bad about TJ, take him down.
Well, Ben is kind of like that at this point.
I don't take people down though.
No, he doesn't take people down. He just shows them to me on the show.
Yep.
And you know the thing is, like, I don't give a fuck. I'm not watching this shit recreationally. You know what I watch on YouTube? I watch like Nostalgia Critic. I watch the Angry Video Game Nerd. I watch like a few little gaming videos here and there.
Tokyo, China.
And occasionally I'll watch some like, you know,
wrestling Tokyo shit. Drift.
Like you know, just random shit that I find like Watch Mojo top 10 lists and shit.
Tokyo
I'm not
Drift.
sitting there watching this pathetic bullshit where you're sitting there talking about me because I don't give a fuck what your opinion is of me. You can hate my fucking guts unless you're fucking sitting there with people who are like, you know, getting like M16s and AK-47s ready to come to my house and fucking shoot me. I don't give a fuck what you're doing.
When Jenny McDermott, or whatever her name was threatening DMCA to you because you thought you were in the right. Yet we did the same thing. We didn't play the whole video. We were commenting on it. Really, we were more commenting about you than the video itself, which surprised me because, again...
Okay, so there's a big difference between a DMCA and getting a content ID match.
A huge fucking difference.
DMCA is a strike.
Yeah.
And if you get 3 of them, your channel is gone forever.
The DMCA is like, that's an actual fucking like...
legal.
That's like a legal measure being taken against someone. It's not the same thing as a simple content ID match, which I don't even have anything to fucking do with. That's full screen's business.
Also, if TJ DMCA'd you personally, you'd be able to dispute the DMCA, and his name would be on the document saying, and swearing under penalty of perjury that this is his content. Can you produce this evidence, sir? If you're going to make all these claims, where is your evidence that TJ or Fullscreen or any of us went out of our way to do this to you, besides your wild allegations? I mean, I do not doubt that you had a content ID match, but you were totally misrepresenting what happened.
I like you. I disagree with a couple of the things that you say and do, and I was trying to do that. So, I tried to contact you. Granted, it's been about a day or so, and you have thousands upon thousands upon thousands, hundreds of thousands.
How did you contact TJ?
So the fact that you may not have seen it or responded to me is fine. But I did try to get a hold of you. Nothing happened, and it comes back and it says that they're going to stay, that I have to fight them on this. So I do commentary on your video, the exact same thing you do. And Full Screen, either because they own your channel or representing
They
you,
don't own the
one or the
channel.
other, has decided to say, hey, you can't use this under fair use clause. Goes against everything you said to Ryan Wiley, goes against everything the Drunken Peasants does and stands for, and it's hypocritical.
You're an idiot.
Anyway, that's what I think. Well, that's what I know.
Look,
I mean,
I don't have any control over what Full Screen is doing. There's a little thing on the Full Screen app section.
We have a contract with them.
Right, but there's a little app on the Full Screen app section that says, oh, do you want to do this content ID shit? I never did that. I was like, I really don't give a shit if people use my content. So I don't know why my shit has come up with content ID matches. Because frankly, I don't give a shit. The only time I would even give a shit about someone uploading my content is if they were uploading it themselves and, you know, like uploading entire videos of me, just unmolested, no commentary, nothing. That's the only time I would ever give a shit about someone using my content.
And that happens now anyway. People upload your old videos for archive channels.
Well, I mean,
all the
you know,
time.
if it's old, I don't give it a shit
Right.
really, because I mean, it's not even on my channel or available anymore, so I'm not using it. So that's fine. But when it comes to stuff that's actually on my channel and monetized, I obviously don't want other people putting it up and even maybe other people monetizing it. Fuck that shit. But if they want to comment on it, they want to do with it what I'm doing, I don't really care. But if I don't know why Full Screen is doing that on my behalf or what the deal is with that, but you know, it's not me doing it, and it's ridiculous for you to just sit here and make these kind of accusations with no fucking evidence. I mean, like, oh, I wrote to him about this, but a day passed and he didn't respond, so I'm gonna make this video and fucking put all these like public accusations based on like scant evidence,
right?
When you don't even understand what you're talking about. You misuse phrases regularly. You confuse, like, you don't know what a fucking strike is. You don't know what a fucking DMCA is. You don't really understand what a content ID is. You're just like dealing with things you don't even seem to understand. Ben says your channel is 7 years old. You've really been on YouTube 7 years and you don't even understand how any of this shit works. It's kind of pathetic. And it fucking pisses me off to see you coming at me,
call you a hypocrite,
and be like, oh, you're a hypocrite and you're fucking going against your beliefs. You don't even have all the facts. You're just going to throw out some fucking spurious accusations? Well, fuck you, bitch.
It's a fact. You've said it, TJ. Hey, if your video is being played on the Drunken Peasants, according to TJ, as long as you got a network that backs you, might be worth trying to hit it for copyright, because that video belongs to you. And
you see how authoritative? You see how authoritatively he's like, "Oh, this is what TJ thinks," and "Oh, you might as well just like flag other people because I'm butthurt that this happened to me."
You want to flag other people?
So you should. I don't even know what your name is, dude. But the title of this video should be Joe So and So encourages flagging, because you're the one that's literally encouraging flagging.
He's gonna sit there and say how this hurts people. These guys are hypocrites. Oh, but go and do it. You should try to do it yourself. Because the people like the Amazing Atheist...
Get this fucking joker off my screen.
Yeah, this guy does not know what he's talking about.
Fuck you. You're a stupid piece of shit.
You know what? If you'd have made the video and said, I don't understand why this happened, can you guys help me? We probably would have been like, Full Screen, you should... we don't want you doing this on our behalf. But for this guy, like, who gives a shit? He's such an asshole. He's such a piece of shit that you don't even want to help him.
Fuck him. But I am going to try to get that off of there, because I don't like that... I mean, this is the second time
I still agree you should do it, but I mean, you shouldn't do it for him. You should do it for...
No, I'm just doing it
He's
in
an
general,
asshole.
because I mean, when he says that would be against my principles, he's really correct there. But I didn't even know this was going on. And, I don't even know why it's happening, because it's not something I ever fucking did or requested Full Screen to do on my
it
behalf.
might just be the Full Screen system. There might be no way around this.
And like we said...
We'll talk to them.
And like we said, if we get one of these, we don't even contest it. We just remove it from the video.
Right. If
and
you
we
want to
sacrifice tens of thousands of views because of that.
Let me just reiterate, like, if you do this, if this is what you want to do, if you want to be, we're going to be a little Drunken Peasants clone, working well for them, let's try it for ourselves, fine. All right, you're right. I do think that everything is derivative to some extent. I think you got to bring your own spin to it, make it your own somehow, but yeah, the core idea can be somewhat derivative. That's fine. We see ideas recycled over and over again, but you can't just, you can't just create it and then expect to just not have any of the same pratfalls we've had. You can't just say, oh, we're going to be a Drunken Peasants clone, but we're going to fight every single time we get a content ID match or a strike or anything. well, not a strike. You do want to fight a strike, but just like content ID matches or just normal copyright notices, just take it down, edit it, and put it back up.
Or if you really think you're in the right, fight it. But once it comes back the first time, there's really nothing you can do unless you have lawyers at your disposal at that point. I mean, it's
not worth it.
Yeah, you can dispute it once, and if it comes back, I mean, it's no longer in your hands at that point.
Yeah, just move the fuck on. That's how we do it.
I don't even dispute them anymore. I just edit them out. There have been nights where I've been up till like 5 o'clock in the morning, taking a video down, taking the part out of it, rendering the edited version of it, uploading it, and usually like the upload is done by the time the sun comes up the next day.
Yeah, and it's
right,
like,
and
it's like a 10-second clip of like this guy was this song was in it. You can't monetize it. 10 seconds.
We go through that shit all the time without complaint. Mostly fucking Ben sitting here fucking editing this bullshit. And yet we have to sit here and listen to you fucking whine because you want to steal what we do, but not have to do it the way we do it. You just think you're some special exception or some shit. You're not some special exception. If you're gonna fucking copy us, learn how to fucking do business properly.
Right.
And that's enough of this.
And we have never once, even against people like Jenny McDermott that we've had problems with, we have never encouraged flagging anyone. So if you have a problem with people flagging you encouraging others to do it to us is the real hypocritical thing.
So
you're the fucking hypocrite, and you encourage flagging against commentators.
And no one even flagged him to begin with. This was an automatic response.
This is an automated process.
All right, goodbye.
You are the weakest link.
Yeah.
Fuck off.
I'll say, you are a moron. Goodbye.
Yeah. All right. So, we want to hear from you in the comments section. Troll or not a troll?
I think TJ's a troll, personally.
Oh. Hey, peasants. Now, what brings young Lavish out here to do a video today? Well, I gotta address a couple of situations.
I don't think he was talking to us. I think he's calling his viewers a peasant.
Real quickly. As you guys know him, Soldierable as I know him, Broke Boy, requested me to do this. As you could read that direct message, he said go in that Louis store, buy a Louis backpack, and record yourself in the store buying it, and then rent a hotel room and make a video inside the hotel room with it. So here is Lavish staying at the Fairmont Hotel, the top 10 most lavishest hotels in the city of San Francisco.
Okay.
Yup. That's young Lavish.
I'm going to go with troll.
He bought some Louis Vuitton bags.
Dust bag right here.
Yeah.
Let's open this guy up right now, and there we go. There comes out the beauty. Now remember, this is nothing for me, but a lot for you.
Troll.
Go.
Yeah.
You say troll?
He's trolling.
This guy's a troll, or just like took this so seriously, it's like pathetic.
He's like, my viewers requested that I go buy Louis Vuitton and then go to a hotel. That is what I will do.
He's a troll.
Yeah, I would agree.
Yeah, I think
troll.
he's a troll.
Rich troll.
If you disagree, let us know in the comments section.
Well, he could just buy knockoffs. I mean, you don't necessarily know that's real or not.
Well,
and that doesn't really look like that impressive of a hotel behind him, honestly.
No. He should have like marble or granite floors and walls and shit and a giant fucking hot tub and
yeah, that's not that lavish. I mean, it looks okay. It's not like I'd sneer at it.
So TJ, I think G Time Johnny took your advice because I know he watches the show, and the last time we had him on, you're like, Johnny, please, we like it when you sing. So he sent us another.
He sent us a singing song.
Yeah.
I like G Time Johnny. He's crazy.
Beat me up! I'm G-Time Johnny, and it's not very safe down here, but I'm gonna do my best because I'm G-Time Johnny. Spock, if you can't hear me, I'm here. Come save me. I'm G-Time Johnny, but I'm tough because I'm honest, and I don't care what the past thinks. I don't care what about the living thinks. I'm just being me.
I think he's naked in every video.
Good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
That's how G-Time Johnny rolls, man.
TJ did confess something to me recently about G-Time Johnny, though.
What about him?
TJ actually said, this was shocking when he told me this. He's like, Scotty, I'm a Protestant time terrorist.
Holy shit, yeah.
TJ's a Protestant. He's like, you know what? I can't be down with Catholics.
Are you like a Lutheran time terrorist? Or are you like an Anglican time terrorist?
Anglican.
Ooh, so you're a member of the Church of England.
Yes.
I see. You're an English
time
Christian
terrorist.
time terrorist.
Yeah. We didn't like that whole no divorce thing.
Oh,
Fuck
shit.
that.
Henry VIII was the first Anglican time terrorist.
Yeah, that's where my lineage goes back to.
I see.
You know, I'm actually a true descendant of the royal.
So we're coming back. We're not back, but we're going to London for you to reclaim the throne, I guess.
Yeah, I'm going to usurp the queen. So.
Wouldn't that be fucking hilarious if we had like a group in front of Buckingham Palace? Probably go to jail though.
Almost certainly.
Oh, we're here so that the true king of England can reclaim the throne.
I'm gonna start calling myself that.
All hail TJ.
From now on, when I introduce myself to people, I'm like, my name's TJ. I'm the true king of England. They'd be like, what? Yeah, I'm the true king of England. Well, there's, it's a long, complicated story. I need to make up some bullshit. Like, I need to make up a narrative where that happens, but I can't do it on the fly because I don't know enough about history. So,
did we already talk on the air about your idea about cutting in line when we're in?
Oh, yeah. I thought it'd be funny.
Did we already talk about that?
No, I don't think we did.
I can't remember.
But
that's the problem when you do a show while drunk.
Yeah.
And then you're like,
that's pretty much the only problem, though.
I know.
But I thought it'd be funny. I mean, I probably won't actually do it because I'm a pussy. But I thought it'd be funny if I had Ben film me going into like, I know British people, standing in line and shit, and just like
they
go up to
queue
them,
up. They like to
like
queue
queues.
up.
I mean, that's all Europe, pretty much everywhere, but China, I guess. But just walk up to them and be like, cut in line and just be like, "Excuse me, I'm American." And just see the,
You know what? They would, they'd probably be, kind of pissed off that you cut, but when you're like, excuse me, I'm American, that would,
I feel like that would it would negate it in their mind, like, well, he is American, so he's a piece of shit.
Yeah.
Or if it would just make them angrier, like, so what? Just because you're American, you fucking think you're more entitled or something?
If they did do that, if they were like that, you should be like, why do you talk funny? Speak better American.
Your American's a bit rusty.
Yeah.
A healthy cell of man time. Of our biology. Move your finger, model the internet. You and me are a city, a community, and how about a tree?
How about it?
I love you, my friends. Bye-bye.
How about
Bye-bye,
a tree? Is he
Johnny.
offering me a tree, or is he just saying
offering
like,
a
how
tree.
about that,
I don't know.
confused.
But I
Tree is
want,
part of the
whatever
community.
he's smoking. Honestly.
What? Ben, I can't believe you, man. Come
What?
on. G-Time John doesn't smoke anything.
He doesn't?
He smokes happiness and rainbows.
He's just high on life, dude.
Yeah.
He's G-Time Johnny.
And he loves every
And he's not a
cell
Catholic time
of
terrorist.
your body.
He doesn't care about your judgments, but he loves you.
He loves every cell.
And he owns
of
your
body.
Of your body.
He owns every cell. Well, he doesn't own you. His eyes.
Oh, it's true. His
own
eyes
you.
own every cell.
Every cell in your body is owned by my eyes. That was his words.
Yeah.
So when G-Time Johnny murders 20 people or no, I mean like when that happens though, what is the contingency plan for how we're gonna handle that on the show? Are we just gonna go take down all the old videos with G-Time Johnny?
The Drunken Peasants do not condone what G-Time Johnny did. We were unaware of his, militant activities or whatever.
First of all, I don't think he has it in him. He seems like a really nice guy. But even if he did,
So did Charles Manson.
Why should we have to take our videos down? That doesn't make any sense.
Because otherwise we're profiting off of the actions.
No.
of a killer.
I mean, like, if he had actually, like, made a video outlining what he was going to do and we're like, oh, he's going to kill people, then maybe that would be something.
Yeah.
But no, he just makes goofy videos where he sings outside naked.
Yeah,
You know,
TJ, what
can
the
you do?
hell?
He's dangerous.
Tell TJ. You're paranoid, dude.
No, I'm not.
You're paranoid.
Remember what happened with Natural Selector 89?
Okay, but that dude was clearly crazy.
Yeah, but I can spot him, man. G-Time Johnny, he's going to start a cult, a sex cult. and then he's going to send out his little murder dolls to, kill people. This could be Charles Manson 2, basically. Charles Manson 2.0, G-Time Johnny. And then we'll get some, awesome prison interviews where he's, explaining Catholic time terrorism to, I don't know, some modern reporter. I don't watch news.
Some of them fancy news channels. Maybe one of them blogs on the internet. Dude, you're so disconnected from popular culture.
I like Johnny. I don't give a fuck what you say.
Oh, I like Johnny too. I'm just saying, what are we gonna? He's gonna kill a bunch of people one day.
No, he won't.
No, I like him. I mean, honestly, it's a population control mechanism. So
he'll only kill Ben just to spite TJ.
So you don't agree that the world is overpopulated, or?
That's a straw man right there.
What? No, I'm.
It's okay. It's okay if someone kills a bunch of people because that's population control. What? You don't agree that the world is overpopulated, Ben?
You don't?
Fuck.
What is your objection otherwise?
Fuck you. All right, next one.
All right, so hold on. Now that we're about to watch Brett Keane, I think you'll be more amenable to my whole killing people is okay argument.
Oh, look. It's almost like they're trying to have Brett Keane in the background.
All right, I'm going to skip this.
It's looking more, so this Christ intro is getting more satanic as time goes on. It's starting to look more and more evil.
I thought for a second Brett Keane was going to put himself behind the image of Jesus or something.
Yeah. Brett, you should just superimpose your face onto Jesus.
They didn't do it. I was like,
that shit was darker than the Undertaker's entrance at WrestleMania.
Right,
Yeah.
Brett Keane is he's becoming when it first started, it was kind of friendly looking. Now it's just getting meaner and meaner. I think he's evolving into a darker character,
Fuck, man, how long is this thing?
It's forever, man. Jesus Christ, how long is his fucking intro? You know what, Brett? Let me just explain something to you. When you have this big epic intro, the thing that it's an intro to should actually have some quality to it.
It is kind of a cool intro too. I'll even give him that.
It is, and then it's it's this big epic intro for this fucking very mild.
Do it on a webcam.
It's explosion.
Okay,
pyro and ballyhoo. Pyro and ballyhoo.
Hi, this is Brett Keane.
You got Jesus rising from the grave or some shit.
Dude, he's
lightning and thunder, and then the actual delivery is then you cut to a fat guy with gray hair sitting in front of a fucking webcam going, I'm Brett Keane. It's how is this an intro to that? Fuck.
Oh, by the way, one of the fans of the show told me that we've ruined manatees forever for them because they thought manatees were cute, but now when they look at them, they see Brett Keane.
I'm sorry. It's just the risk you take. When you listen to people make jokes, eventually a joke is going to ruin something sacred in your life. It's just a fact of if you want to be amused, you gotta fucking just live with the fact that certain things you love will be destroyed through sheer mockery.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Brett Keane from God TV Radio, and I have to say that I'm extremely ashamed of myself. I am disgusted with myself.
That's good.
I
Wow.
can't tell you how many times I sat with Christians in private as well as hangouts where I supported LGBT rights. I even did videos on my God TV Radio YouTube channel where I stated that, hey, we should be more liberal, more open about homosexuality and lesbians. We should be more liberal towards transgenders and transsexuals. And I stated repeatedly, these are good people. They're people who deserve to have their rights. But then something crazy happened.
So what do you think it was? I mean,
something crazy happened.
Gay people that hate gays started paying him more money or
something.
something.
I think the evil gay squad broke into Brett's house and attacked his family and sodomized Brett. And he's like, "Oh my God, I see the true dangers now."
No, I think what happened was Brett was in an airport restroom and he was tapping his foot under the stall, and then the guy's like, "Yeah," and then he came in the stall and saw Brett, and he's like, "Never mind."
He's like,
and then Brett was so sad from being rejected even as a cheap bathroom fuck that he just hates gay people now.
Thing that's been happening repeatedly, and I think I'm about damn fed up with the nonsense. The LGBT decided, as well as the atheist community, to attack Christianity in a really disgusting, horrible way.
Oh,
and I
no.
can see from the comments as well as the video that they did recently that they have no respect whatsoever for Christians, Muslims, pagans, or Jews, or anybody.
No one.
I don't think
Not
that
even
there's
themselves.
any reason anymore why I should be liberal or open to any of these individuals with stuff like this.
Hi, I have this problem maybe you guys can help me out with. I have this sexual attraction to Jesus Christ. Every time I see his hot body, gorgeous face, I get sexually aroused. Do you think when he comes back, he can come over my house and have sex with me? I want to suck on his godly cock as I cradle his godly balls. I want to feel his godly cock up my tight asshole. I want to feel him thrusting in and out of my ass. I want to serve Jesus as my master and be his sex slave. Just thinking about it makes my cock rock hard.
This guy likes Jesus.
Yeah. Well,
I don't understand.
He really
the problem.
likes Jesus.
You know what? There have been people, even Christians, that have admitted being sexually attracted to Jesus.
Sure. Jesus is sexy.
Well, I mean, he's like half naked.
Yeah, I mean, like, it's a very... The cross can be a very sexual image. I mean, you know. Jesus is you know, up there. He's all, like, live and shit.
You fap to the cross a lot, huh, TJ?
Yeah, and, you know, he's up there and he's all tortured and shit. And it's like,
touching me.
You know.
When do we get to eat Jesus?
Jesus is pretty sexy.
So this is the reason Brett Keane hates
This
gay
guy.
people, because this guy, who doesn't even totally seem serious.
Doesn't really seem very serious at all.
Yeah, not at all.
But, no, Brett Keane hates him because of this guy. But the thing is, like, these gay people are attacking Christianity. I'm like, I think Christianity kind of started it. I mean, you know, I don't get it.
What are you talking about? Just because their holy book just tells them to basically be assholes to these kinds of people, that doesn't mean anything.
I get so horny just thinking about it. If I could have sex with Jesus, that would be the best thing that has ever happened to me. You see this banana?
Oh God.
That's what I did with it. I gave it to this guy.
It'll never end.
But you know, the other thing is, like, I've known plenty of gay people who are Christians. So I mean, he's saying, like, oh, gay people are all, you know, disrespectful of religion and shit. There's gay people who are religious. I don't understand the idea of, like, oh, LGBT people are inherently opposed to religion. No, there's plenty of them that are religious.
Also, he finds one guy and he says, atheists lack morals and ethics. It's like, okay, because one guy made a video you don't like, that means all atheists lack any morality or any sort of ethics.
What is he doing that is lacking in morality and ethics? So he's joking, or presumably joking about.
It seems like he's joking.
This is sick behavior, TJ.
Presumably joking about fucking Jesus or Jesus fucking him or whatever. And how is that a lack of a moral? How's that a lack of ethics? Who's that hurting?
Hurting Brett Keane. And
You know,
good God
like,
believers.
it's not
TJ.
like he's out there, like, stealing or fucking raping or murdering or actually doing something that
probably
victimizes
is.
somebody.
He probably is.
I'm gonna pretend it's Jesus' big rock hard cock. Watch while I suck on it.
And also, this guy obviously appreciates Jesus a lot.
Hey, he loves Jesus. He really loves Jesus. Damn.
I mean, doesn't the fact that Brett Keane played this...
So tasty.
Yeah, he played, like, the whole fucking thing.
Like, you know, was it even really necessary? Like, if he finds this so reprehensible, why would he sit there and play the whole thing out?
Oh, how I want to fuck Jesus. I love Jesus in the worst way. You Christians love Jesus? Well, but I really love him. I want him to take me from behind and feel his godly seat filling my ass. Would you fuck Jesus? I would fuck Jesus.
Brett Keane is literally playing this entire thing. I think we get the idea.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
It's funny because, like, I'm about to skip over it.
It's almost at the end. Does Brett Keane even come back in this fucking video?
I don't know. Let's see.
Look at my sexy man.
My name is Don Keane.
No.
His wife comes back.
Brett Keane literally made a video. I mean, that's like... he basically just stole that dude's video then, because all he did was he played his intro. Then
revenue.
Brett Keane did that with you.
At revenue.
Right.
There's a video on his channel that says the Amazing Atheist loves Brett Keane, and it's just one of your old videos.
Oh,
the whole thing.
God TV radio show is an international network.
No, it's not.
Come on, international network.
It's an international. How is it international?
Because it's on the internet, and that's international.
Okay, I guess in that sense, sure. But I mean, look, Brett Keane literally just
where's the commentary about this?
He played his intro. He came on camera, talked for like I don't know, 30 seconds to a minute, and then played in its entirety some guy's video.
I'm a God believer.
I'm tired. I'm fed up. I have no reason to be liberal anymore. These faggots are just destroying our country.
He doesn't even talk about the video.
Yeah, where's the commentary on this video?
This is not even fair use at this point. He's just like, look at this. Yeah, okay, you just stole it.
What does Brett Keane possibly have to say about this, though?
Nothing.
Exactly. That's why I'm saying that. That's why there's nothing, because Brett Keane has no ammunition. It's just like, this is disgusting and sick, and I don't like it.
Yeah, I mean, like, anytime we play a video, we comment on it. We stop it several times and comment on it.
Yeah, and if we don't have anything to say, we usually just like, okay, let's go to something else.
Right. The only time we'll play a video all the way through is if it's like Sci-10 Atheist, like an animation, and we have permission from the content creator to play the whole thing.
How is this a show? What about this says show to you? It's just random shit that Brett Keane finds, and usually has sub-commentary, but this time he doesn't even have any. His commentary was just like he said some shit beforehand, showed it, then he didn't react to it or say anything else. Just like, there you go.
TV, radio. It should be like God, TV, radio, telegraph, carrier pigeon... fucking movie,
smoke signal,
book, show. I like every medium you can think of.
Yeah, just every communications tool, every entertainment tool. Let's get the phonograph in there.
Phonograph.
A music box.
A Victrola.
Yeah,
which I think is a phonograph.
He'll put like a fucking. He'll put the show in a bottle and throw them out to sea.
Yep. Oh, like he'll take the two like tin soup cans and tie them together with a string.
With a string, yeah. That's old school.
Fuck yeah, man.
What is that even called, though? Two cans and a string.
Yeah. 2 cans and a string communication.
So we got God, TV, radio, phonograph, 2 strings and a can show.
Basically. I also like telegrams.
Telegram, yeah. Or what about, snail mail? That should be in there,
What was
too.
that?
Well, it's just like, the colloquial term for like, just like mail, basically.
What's that?
That's where you mail snails.
I hate you.
And the snails will tell you what the show is about.
Oh man, someone's gonna come to my house and deliver me a mail? That'll be awesome.
Ew.
All right, so next one.
Hopefully the mail is not Brett Keane.
What were your other 2 wishes?
Kenny Rogers.
What were your Just Scotty, imagine Brett Keane with like whipped cream on his nipples, like rubbing his man tits in your face.
I would attack him and try to kill him.
You would try to kill him?
Yes.
You wouldn't believe the sick shit that I get on Facebook that I just delete. You have no idea.
Yeah, sure I would.
Oh god, TJ gets horrible shit all the time too.
Do you get like shit that's like Scotty on TJ, like incestual bullshit?
Sometimes.
I get that all the time, and I just like delete it like,
oh god, why?
I've gotten that a few times. Not really that often though. I'm surprised you're having a
I've
problem
seen a
with
few
that.
of like you and Ben, like people send you a few of you and Ben hooking up, and then they'll be like just random crazy shit like TJ.
I hardly ever see that. Why don't they send that to me?
Back when I was in, I don't know, maybe they're embarrassed to. Maybe that's why I don't.
Because I get you two guys all the time.
That's weird.
I know it is weird.
But no, but I someone once sent me a thing where there was like someone had written like some fan fictions about me and Cody back when we were shooting videos together.
Oh god. All right.
Moving on.
Awkward. All right.
Awkward, guys.
Yeah.
Awkward.
All right, so this is another one of those bullshit conservative videos with the blue screen in the background.
God, why?
This one,
best kind of videos.
This one says, "Do we have free will?"
No. Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know.
question for the ages.
Well, that settles it. Why even watch it then? Nah, we'll watch it.
In the external or physical world, we're all aware of standard cause and effect, right? You know, object A acts upon object B with force X.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
Because it applies to just about everything from electrons to athletes. But now consider events in your internal or mental world. What causes your thoughts? Some of our thoughts have external causes, like when we touch something and suddenly realize it's hot. We don't deliberate whether or not to pull our hand away, right? Our brain has already fired the instruction to do so, involuntarily. In some strange sense, we didn't really pull our hand away at all, because we didn't choose to do it. Our brain did it.
I don't know. It depends.
And our brain is not a part of us.
Yeah, already. I'm already having problems.
My
with
brain
this.
is not a part of me.
It's like we didn't do it because we didn't choose to do it. Like, why is that the criteria?
You don't walk, TJ. Your feet and your legs walk.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not choosing to breathe, but I would say that breathing is still a part of me. In fact, a lot of people were complaining about that last show.
It's an involuntary function.
Right.
Sure, I mean, but
it's
like,
still you. It's your body doing it.
You know, I don't make a conscious decision to choose to do everything my brain wants to do, but that's still who I am. It's all part of the totality of my existence. I'm not just defined by things that I perceive to be choices. And by the way, a lot of times, even choice is just a fucking illusion we tell ourselves. Like, they've done like numerous studies that show that people make decisions and then justify them afterwards, not sit there and agonize like, but I mean, you know, obviously sometimes you do come to those crossroads.
A lot of people want to believe that their conscious mind is like, that's it, and maybe their subconscious exists, but it's like, oh well, you know, that's not really, it doesn't really play the same role that my conscious does.
It plays a bigger role.
It plays a bigger role. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's actually,
your conscious mind is just a tiny fraction of who you are, and most people don't want to accept that. And this is obviously a kind of person who just doesn't want to accept that at all. They want to believe that, you know, I am the captain of my fate and the master of my soul, and I respect that as a poetic notion, but it's just not always true.
Insulting us. A second cause of our thoughts is internal. Say you're thinking about giving a big presentation, and as you do so, you get increasingly nervous, and your blood pressure and your heart rate jump up.
The cause is still external.
Now, nothing
You're talking about a big
external is
presentation.
acting upon you. You're doing all the causing internally, right?
Well, that's, I mean, honestly, that's our instinct from a time where we were possibly prey to other animals.
But also a terrible example. It's like you're worried about a meeting. It's like, well, that is an external event.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not understanding how that's not external. I mean, look, I
understand your physiological response is internal.
But it's a physiological response to something external.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
The meeting, it's external. The physiological response is happening because of that stimuli. How do you not see that?
It'd be a lot better to say, like, am I smart? You know what I mean? And that's just a self-contained kind of thing. Am I smart? You know, that I can at least see something like that, or something like along those lines. Not, but I have a big meeting.
But even that is probably going to be based on something. Like something happened to you that made you feel inferior, and then you're asking yourself, am I a smart person, or something like that.
Probably so, but I'm saying, but at least something like that could conceivably be
just internal.
Internal, yeah. I mean, you're probably right. The root cause is probably something outside of it, but at least that. But having a meeting, that's not an internal thing. I understand he's saying the response is internal, but it's something you're externalizing and then internalizing.
Your anxious thoughts are causing your brain to send signals to your heart, and we get that. But now I want you to consider a third category of your thoughts. It's your conscious choices. Something as simple as choosing where to go for lunch. Now, when you introspect, when you think about your thinking, do you believe that you're the active agent in charge of the process? Or
no, when it comes to going to lunch, where to go to lunch, usually we're the active agents in TJ's process.
That's very true.
Well, in the sense of like where, like the positive, like where we will go, we'll choose that. But if TJ doesn't want to go somewhere, he's very vocal about it, but he can't decide where to go.
The thing is, like, okay, so he's about to ask, do you believe you're the active agent in the process, or you're just like, I don't know what I don't. Let's see what phrasing he uses before I address it.
Or that you're just a passive recipient of the instruction, that you have no choice in the matter. It's all external forces, be they environmental, genetic, chemical, biological, or neurological. In other words, do you think all your thoughts have external causes beyond your control? Or do you think that you control some, if not most, of your thoughts? Now let's stay with our lunch example for a second.
Why do we only have two choices?
First of all, those two choices, that's a false fucking dichotomy, first of all. There's way more other nuanced positions you could take. And there's several questions that are kind of unanswered. Like, just because something is external or internal, we don't know where identity really begins and ends, or if identity is even a useful concept to fucking begin with. So, I mean, there's just, like, this free will thing. You're basically trying to take, like, a profound philosophical question that so many people have attempted to address and just boil it down to something that's so fucking simple. You're basically just trying to make nitwits who watch this video feel smart. Like, I watched a video on free will, and now I really feel like I grasp it. But you've given them such an oversimplified explanation that's so devoid of any nuance that's, that it's basically useless to anybody as a thought experiment.
And back to the question. I ask you, where do you want to go for lunch today? Now, if all you are is a brain, an exhaustively physical system of neurons and synapses, then there's no you that's going to be making a choice at all.
Why not?
Your thought
Hold on.
process.
Shut up. That's wrong. Why is there no me? That just means that is me. If it's just these neurons firing, then there is no you to make a choice. Well, no, that is me. That those neurons firing and this physical body and the culmination of all that and my thought process and my emotional systems and whatever else is fucking guiding my behavior and feelings and sense of what's around me and so on and so forth. That is me. So it doesn't mean there is no me. It just means that I have a little bit of an understanding of what comprises the constituent elements of me. And if you understand how complex your brain is and how many there's more neurons firing in your brain than there are stars in the fucking Milky Way galaxy. And if you have any idea how huge that is, that's a mind-blowing fucking thought. Literally mind-blowing. Little electrical, chemical fucking signals being passed on between neurons, and you have different sections of your brain that are designed for different activities, and this is a highly evolved, highly complex fucking organ that's basically regulating every aspect of what your body is doing, and also is responsible for your conscious mind. So that is you.
That answer is far too nuanced. I prefer his simple explanation that we have two choices and that's it.
Either you're nothing or you got a soul and it's given to you back out.
Are basically just a complex series of colliding electron dominoes crashing into one another.
That's all
it's just physical cause and effect, right? Something that can be exhaustively understood in terms of physics and chemistry.
Possibly.
There's no you that's an agent that's deliberating or choosing or exercising free will. And that's why
I don't understand this argument.
If you are just a brain, you cannot have free will. You would just be a physical machine.
So what? You don't even understand what we don't. How? Just because something is a physical machine that's brought about by physical processes, you don't. That doesn't mean you know what it's capable of, or you know what it's possible to generate. You don't know. We don't know if there's what you consider deliberation going on in there. We don't know what the process is. We don't have a rich enough understanding of how the brain works to possibly make the sort of assertions that you're trying to make.
Yeah, these are very bold assertions.
The bold assertions that are not. He's not even drawing any natural conclusions from step to step. It's like there's a total non sequitur. This, therefore this, and it's like where's the line connecting these two things? You're just a machine. Connection. Therefore, you're incapable of deliberation. Like how you? What do you mean I'm incapable? What? I don't understand. What is the connection between those two things? Explain to me why a machine or a physical machine. What other kind of fucking machine is there
people are not
anyway?
just shells. We're not just these empty things where it's like, that doesn't define a human at all.
I think better wording would have been biological machine rather than
physical machine. Right, because every machine is physical that I know of.
A very complex but programmed computer. But if you're something more than your brain, if you're the thing that has the brain, then when I ask you, where do you want to go for lunch? You're going to start deliberating. You're going to be weighing your taste preferences, the commute time, perhaps even counting calories. You'd be weighing...
So basically you're saying that it's a computer that's weighing variables against each other. Yeah, that's so unique. No physical process could do that.
I like that place, but it has soggy fries.
Soggy fries. Yeah, can't
right.
Can't do soggy fries, guys.
No, but I'm saying, like, look, he's talking about making this choice. Yeah. You're basically weighing variables against each other.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, he's saying, what, a physical machine can't do that? A biological machine can't weigh choices against each other? We even have computers that could weigh choices against each other.
Oh, of course.
Various reasons to choose one place over another.
Okay.
You wouldn't be caused to think about any of these things. You would choose to think about these things. And you could stop anytime you wanted to. So what we have here... Therefore, are
no.
You can just stop thinking about something. TJ, you're having a health crisis. Stop thinking about it.
But okay, I'm done. Okay, you can't just stop thinking when you're hungry. If you're hungry, then your hunger
you can feel hunger. You can feel
right. It's compelling you to think about the problem of I'm hungry. How am I going to get food? And if you say, I don't feel, and that's when you fucking start this whole little thought process. But it's just your brain calculating different variables against each other. That's all it is. It's a computational process. Of course that can arise from something physical.
Different types of things, an immaterial mind and the material brain. You are the thing that has the brain. You are not your brain. Now look. Even if you were the world's foremost brain expert and you knew what was happening with every electron in someone's brain at a specific particular moment, you still wouldn't have a clue about what's going on inside that person's mind.
Yes, you would.
Surgeons can have access to my brain, but only I have access to my mind.
How do you know that?
Makes you
They even have no. You know what? You're even demonstrably wrong. They actually have machines now that can look at your brain and actually decipher images you're seeing in your dreams. So yes, if you can sufficiently look at someone's brain, you can see their mind. You just have to know how to do it. We don't know how to do it completely yet because the brain is so fucking complicated. But you're not offering any fucking reasoning that supports your fucking conclusion. Yes, the brain, you are your brain. I would go further than that and say you're not just your brain, but you're your entire body. That's you.
Right.
Yeah.
You human and not a machine. Psychology, the study of the mind, is not reducible to physics and biology and chemistry. Yet, there are many materialists, people who believe that physical matter is all that exists, that the only reality, including every thought, every feeling, every mind, every will, all of this.
You might as well just call them scientists, buddy.
Materialist, TJ.
You're a materialist, buddy.
I think the better term would be scientist. I guess not all scientists would technically fall under the category of materialists, but I suspect that the vast majority would. All of the ones I've met have.
Totally explained in terms of matter in motion, simply physical phenomena. These materialists believe that we're no more than robots and that free will is an illusion, a myth. Now, why do they believe this? Because they understand that the moment they acknowledge that free will exists, that there really is an immaterial you beyond the physical realm, that there really is a mind, not just a brain.
Well, where is your evidence?
You know what? The thing, even as a kid, going to Catholic school, learning about free will, the thing that never made sense about it to me was how so many Christians can believe that everything that happens is because God willed it to happen, but then we also have our own free will separate from God. Yeah. How can both of them exist?
And God also has a plan that unfolds to his design.
And God works in mysterious ways.
Like a predetermined destiny, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So how do we have free will to make our own choices if everything we've done is
You'd
already...
have to ask a theologian like Venom Thing X.
You could ask, the easiest one is like, okay, well, why did Hitler kill all the Jews? Why did he do that? Well, why did God allow that to happen? Well, God had a plan. So part of God's plan was for all these people to be killed. Obviously there wasn't just Jews killed by Hitler, but all these people had to die because that was part of God's plan, right?
And yet Hitler did it of his own will.
Yeah, but he had his own will. But God allowed it to happen, and God.
But God is
it's
just
God's
so
plan.
smart that He knows how everything's going to turn out, even
Yes.
though we do have free will. Which kind of begs the question: why doesn't He change it around and make a better plan that involves less human suffering? And then when you say that, they say, "Oh, well, that would interfere with free will." It's like, no, it wouldn't. He could just give people the right catalyst at the right time to make the right choice.
Yeah.
Without interfering
It would be
with their free
nothing
will.
if there was a
It'd be
God.
nothing
It
to
would be
him.
nothing. Yeah. There's no reason for any of this human
So
suffering.
none of this even makes any sense, basically. But I mean, this guy hasn't even brought up God yet, but I have a feeling it's coming.
There has to be something non-physical that accounts for our non-physical minds.
Oh.
Now, when you exercise your free will and you choose to think about all of this, you're going to probably reason, just like I did, that there's a great mind that accounts for the origin of your mind. But again,
okay,
that's your
sorry.
choice.
You know the
I'm
origin-
sorry. Did you just call that reason? What?
I do know the origin of my existence. My parents fucked, and then I my mom had me, and now I'm here.
So there was a mind, and
yeah, there were two minds.
Yeah, there was two minds. There was and they got horny and they fucked, and then we happened genetically.
Yeah, there you go.
Through a natural
and
process.
sometimes that reproduction is not done by choice. Maybe
Sure.
the act of it is, but
Sure. I mean, it doesn't even make any sense.
This guy kind of looks like Hank from Breaking Bad.
You could point. You just like. I'm
It's
not.
true.
I'm not even poking as many holes in this as I could be, just because I would be here all day. It's horrible. He should be ashamed for even uttering this bullshit.
It's
He looks pretty
evidence
smug.
of your free will. I'm Frank Pastore for Prager University.
You suck.
Prager
Join
University.
Prager University.
Oh no.
Prager University
No.
is a pile of shit.
I would run away from Prager University.
This is the time of the show where TJ's going to tell everyone to like the video. Here he is.
If you guys wanna,
So, yeah.
should like the video, I guess. I mean, I don't know. I wouldn't if I were. I mean, I guess I would. Maybe
You would.
Probably.
Do you like the video a little bit, teacher?
Yeah, I mean, like,
You
if you
like
guys
it a
want to
little
give
bit?
the video like a thumbs up, I guess that'd be pretty good. Like a thumb, like this. You see that little symbol? I think it's down, like right around there. Right around there. You should probably click on that. Give us a thumbs up our asses. You like this, don't you? You're enjoying yourself.
Oh,
you liked us poking fun of this Prager University bitch.
Yeah.
Yeah. Give it a thumbs up. You like it.
Also,
Thumbs up, or I will
we should probably
kill
mention
you and your family.
People that want to see the private show and our commentary on a horrible movie or game, you only have 2 days left.
Yeah, you only have 2 days left.
A
2 days
Patreon-
left to become a patron so you can see the next private show. And for those of you who like the 100th show, that was pretty similar to how the private show usually goes.
We probably cover a little bit more in the way of videos, though.
And we're drunker usually. We don't have as many guests. It's more like but the way we composed ourselves was more similar.
Yep, so if
and
you
just
wanna
like
do
the
that,
length of it too.
You basically have 2 days, and the link is patreon.com/DP.
/fuck you, motherfucker.
That's not the link, though.
Yeah.
/fuck you. Anyway, the fucking actual link is down below in the description. Also, we're going to take the opportunity to talk about this.
Shirts.
Shirts are still for sale. The URL to get a shirt is also in the description below.
Yeah, there's a great Band TJ shirt. That's the shirt I recommend the most because TJ sucks.
Yes.
Then there's Band Scotty and Band Ben, and Band Ben is a commie shirt because Ben's a commie. Then we have of course, the original official Drunken Peasant shirt, if you want that one.
And then we have this Ben Cena shirt that no one really wants.
Yeah.
But we kept it on there to see how many pitiful orders it would get.
It's gotten 4.
4 orders.
Yeah.
Which it's had forever now. No one wants that one. But, if you want to be one of the few people that has that one, maybe order it. Because it's not selling.
Yeah.
But the rest are. And enjoy them.
All right. Let's see here. It looks like we have to get our shout-outs out of the way, too. Our shout-outs for the $25 people.
Sure.
Since this is the last show of the month.
All right.
This is the last time we're going to do this because now it's being moved to the $25 perk is being moved to
Something
Q&A.
else. Yeah, it's the Q&A thing now.
Yeah,
So this is the last of the shout-outs.
Oh, I guess we should mention that too. For the 25 and above people, we're going to do a Q&A just for them. So, and the people above that, obviously, too. We only have one other category, so.
All right, so we will. So we're just gonna go through them here. If we didn't mention anyone's name, it's because you took away your pledge or moved it somewhere else. Now, unfortunately, when you do that, it doesn't show you on the list.
Yeah.
At that point.
Blame TJ, basically.
So
Blame TJ.
we have someone. We have Adrian Delgado.
Delgado.
We have Andrew Craig Smith.
Andrew Craig Smith.
We have Ripley.
Believe it or not.
Ripley's Believe It or Not.
Oh God. We have Luke Garn. I don't know how to say it.
Garneau.
Garneau or
Garneau.
Gabriel Christian DeWitt.
Gabriel Christian DeWitt.
Comrade Kennedy or Kenny.
Comrade Kenny.
Kenny's dead.
Comrade. Annabelle Pfeiffer. Or Pfeiffer.
Pfeiffer.
I don't know how to say
Cypher.
That's Pfeiffer.
Cypher Rage.
Yeah, that's how Michelle Pfeiffer's last name is spelled.
I
Cypher
see.
Rage.
They're probably related. It's not.
Probably.
It's not Pfeiffer.
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 Let's see. Danny Zucco.
Danny Zucco.
I feel like I've heard that name before.
Nicholas. Josh Landry. Let's see. Felicity. You want to give a shot at that one?
I can't see it that well. Is it Xavier?
Yeah, something like that.
Xavier. Felicity.
By the way, we're
Xavier.
sorry if we mispronounce your names.
We're not really sorry.
Okay, we're not.
We're not sorry.
Chuck. I'm the one who's sorry.
Chuck Norris.
Well, there's someone just named Chuck. Thanks for making it easy on us,
Chuck Norris.
Thanks for
sure.
having an easy name,
Yeah.
Chuck Norris.
Matthew Pugh.
That's a horrible name.
Matthew Pugh.
Matthew Pugh.
Matthew Pugh.
Matthew Pugh.
Matthew P.
Okay,
Tene?
yeah. When you have a name that has like accent marks all over it, then you really throw us off.
Yeah, we're American.
So it's like Etty Gravel.
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 I
We don't
think.
know.
I like Gravel because it sounds like a Flintstones character.
I'm Eddie
I
Gravel.
like Gravel 'cause
Hey,
it
Mr.
sounds
Gravel.
neat. But you're right. Luke Mangina.
That's awesome. Is that really his name?
No, it's not.
Was like
Mangina.
Luke Mangina? Huh? What? what is actually his fucking name? 'Cause I can't see the
Spelled
screen.
Maganja, and the J. Who knows how that's pronounced? Because
Mangini, maybe.
Well, a J can sometimes be pronounced like an H, or it can be
Yeah.
pronounced like a Y, depending on what language.
I think it's actually Luke Maganja.
My ganja.
My ganja. It is like Ganja.
Oh, okay. I see what
My
you're saying.
ganja. Luke Maganja.
Maganja.
Or Maganha or Maganya.
Maganja.
However you say it.
Whatever. Who gives a shit?
Danny.
Thanks, Danny.
Yeah.
Danny, thank you for your easy name.
Jackie Lyman. We have Minx.
Minx.
Yep.
Is that the real Minx?
Yes, it is.
Minx is cool.
Yes, she is. Oh God, this is like a Japanese name.
Okamoko Doko.
Oni Kuromaru. Maru.
Onikumu Ramanu.
Yeah.
Something.
Michael Logan.
Good American name.
American.
America.
Jake Farrell.
I am Jake Farrell.
that name amuses me for some reason.
Adam McAskill.
I think it's McCaskill.
Yeah, it is.
McCaskill. Yeah, McCaskill. I've heard that name before.
Morgan.
Jacob Santos.
Santos.
Travis Allen Beard. And Eric Maruri.
Eric.
Thank you to all of you for your support.
Sorry to those of you whose names we butchered completely and utterly.
Yeah.
But you probably were amused by it, so.
Probably. So.
Fuck it! China.
Mangina, TJ.
Mangina.
This is just further proof that TJ is an outstanding individual.
I'm a fantastic motherfucker.
The fabulous Mr. TJ.
Mr. TJ's Wild Ride.
All right, so probably not going to play this whole next video because it's like 40 minutes long.
Why not, man? Not going to say the truth, huh?
You know, it's fucked up.
What if at the end of the video they say, "Just kidding,
Just
guys."
kidding, guys. Ha,
You know,
gotcha.
it's fucked up because like part of fair use is not playing the whole video of the other person. It's playing clips of it for the most part, and we've gotten people threatening to, we've had people threaten to flag or to DMCS because we didn't play their whole video, which doesn't make any sense.
That's just stupid.
I know.
Dudes, I'm reading Raw spoilers right now.
How about you don't?
Yeah, I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
It's gonna be pretty awesome.
Okay, well,
I knew it was going to be awesome.
How about you
dude.
do the show and stop reading shit?
Yeah.
That might be helpful.
I'm gonna do this instead. What are we talking about?
Huh? We just did the shout-outs for the patrons.
Oh yeah, I remember that now.
Dude, what the fuck are you doing, TJ?
I was
Calm down, TJ. Simmer down, TJ.
The
Simmer
show
down.
suddenly opened on my laptop.
All right.
Oh, yeah, sure.
Okay, so this is Louder with Crowder.
It's louder.
Talking about.
Yeah, I'm gonna get back.
Oh,
to my
is it?
laptop
No.
now.
Is this his podcast? Yeah.
We are back, Louder with Crowder. I'm very excited about our next guest because we've had her on the show before, but only on YouTube, on the web show, I guess you can say. She caught a lot of flack, a neuropsychiatrist, specialty. It's very specialized, very brilliant lady, Dr. Phyllis Boniface. Thank you so much for coming on the show.
It's my pleasure, Stephen.
Okay, so you kind of felt a little bit of the backlash of YouTube at that point. We did a video on marijuana, right, when it was legalized in Colorado, and sort of examined where you are in Ann Arbor, the decriminalization.
And I want to point out that
and what happens
civilization
legally, what are the
has collapsed in the areas where marijuana has been legalized. Like, it's just crime is up 1,000,000% in Washington State and Colorado. Soon in Oregon and Alaska and the District of Columbia, Washington, D.C., the crime rates are about to shoot up there, too.
Yeah, yeah.
We're going to be living in a lawless country soon.
Yes, cannibalism and pedophilia are up there, too.
Yes. Every sort of crime is up there.
Yes.
I tried to look up Phyllis Boniface,
Well,
but she hasn't accomplished shit.
She was in the last video that he made about this, and that's what they're showing a clip from right here.
Oh, okay.
I guess she's a psychiatrist. Maybe I'll take her word for it. Whatever, like I'll take it at face value. Yeah, she is. But that's one opinion of many. And what they did was they compared the decriminalization in Ann Arbor, Michigan, to what they have out west in the various states out west.
Decriminalized in Ohio. I mean, it's decriminalized in many places.
Right, and it's not the same thing as legalization.
No, not even close.
Yeah, decriminalization is a totally different thing.
Right, and Ann Arbor is probably one of the better cities in Michigan. Honestly,
oh, yeah. From what I've read, yeah.
Yeah.
I've never been there.
Until pot got its hooks in, and now it's a
now it's a
cesspool.
slum.
Yeah.
Slum.
But I want to clarify something. In the video, I didn't say the government should be able to outlaw pot in every state. As a matter of fact, I take the libertarian stance. If pots want to legalize it, fine. The problem I had is all the people who say legalize all drugs, legalize pot. In order to get that passed, they generally aren't as forthcoming about the harms of marijuana. And I think if you're an adult and you want to harm your body, fine.
Okay.
But the people who are wanting to legalize it aren't taking on the responsibility of assisting in education. So that's what we had you on to do, which seems benign enough, right? For you to just say, hey, here are the ways pot might be bad for you. And people were furious. Did that surprise you?
Not really. I've spoken at some forums before, and I know that there's a lot of pro-marijuana people out there. And I always find it...
Wait. It's fine that you guys are against legalization of marijuana, or, as Steven Crowder said, if potheads want to vote for it, because the only people, let's straw man, all our opposition are just stoners. That's fine. You guys are entitled to have your opinion. And and if there are harms of marijuana, people should know the risks. And I totally agree with that.
Sure.
But why are they been like, people were offended and people spoke out and back against you? You guys are having a strong position. What's the problem with people responding to that?
In the video that they're referring to, Steven Crowder finds this guy that is clearly mentally ill and interviews him quite a bit.
Of course.
And is like, look, this guy smoked weed, so this is what happens when you smoke weed.
So he found someone who clearly had a
nonsense.
pre-existing mental illness and is like, this is what weed does to you.
How exploitive, really?
I mean, like, let's even say, okay, sure, maybe this guy had some sort of psychosis that
was made worse.
Yeah, possibly.
Sure.
Who said? Maybe so.
Well, I mean, look, if you have something like schizophrenia, marijuana actually can exacerbate the symptoms.
But it's because you have schizophrenia.
Sure, right. It's because you have a pre-existing medical condition,
And those people probably should
it's
not
just like
use
if
marijuana.
they shouldn't use
Or
marijuana
alcohol,
They
or
sh-
any other thing.
They shouldn't use marijuana the same way someone who's lactose intolerant shouldn't drink milk. Just because you have a pre-existing condition that marijuana exacerbates doesn't mean marijuana is bad or wrong for everyone. It just means it's wrong for that particular person.
Instructive to read the comments and how people actually make their arguments. And people who are very pro marijuana and obviously heavy users, their arguments
That's not
kind of
true.
illustrate the
There
Why
are
are you saying-
there are pro marijuana people that have never smoked marijuana in their lives.
There's plenty of even libertarian people who are like, I don't smoke weed, but you know what? If people in the state want to vote and pass a law,
And look, she's just playing an Anita Sarkeesian tactic here, where it's like, all my opposition are idiots. You should see how dumb they
all
are.
potheads, all just
Look at
smoking
how
weed
you look
nonstop.
at you read their comments and you see it makes our point for us. They're all morons. Look how dumb they are and how off their points are. And they just resort to all these bad tactics. And I'm sure if you look through the comments in that video, you probably can find a lot of that.
Sure.
If you cherry pick only that and say, this is our opposition, fine. But, I guarantee you that Steven Crowder... First of all, Steven Crowder probably didn't even allow intelligent comments through, because he has a classic approach of he will allow people who go on his video and say "fuck you, Steven Crowder," and he's fine with that because then he can milk it and be like, "Oh, look at this, how immature this is." But then if you go and actually make a point against him, that's when he blocks you. That's when he deletes your comment. So,
And it sounds like you have personal experience with this.
Oh
TJ.
yeah,
I'm sure.
I mean, I've been around this motherfucker long enough to see his tactics time and time again. So basically, he controls what the comment section says because he has total editorial control, and he uses it. And I mean, I use it to an extent too. Full disclosure, I'll editorialize my comments. I'll ban certain phrases. I'll delete people who I think are being assholes. I will do that. So I'm not some Mr. like total freedom of speech. But when you're going to dishonestly cultivate your comment section to be a certain way and then use that to your advantage, that's a slimy tactic. That's a tactic that Anita Sarkeesian uses as well, where she'll frame all of her opposition as, oh, these are just misogynists, they just hate women, they don't have any valid points, they're just an angry mob.
yeah.
And then this bitch is doing the exact same thing, saying, oh, these potheads, they're just a bunch of inarticulate idiots, they don't know what they're talking about.
points that we're trying to make, that it can cause problems and deficits in people's thinking.
Right.
So it's Exhibit A.
Yes, exactly.
So what? Okay, so if
Well,
you don't
it's
smoke
funny,
pot, what's your fucking excuse, bitch?
No.
Deficits in your thinking. You and Crowder must be the world's biggest fucking potheads, then, huh?
They're secret potheads.
People have been smoking weed since the advent of modern medicine.
But-
Why have
but-
we not
but
studied
Ben-
it enough to know
but Ben,
what it does?
THC levels have gone through the roof.
Why do they always say, well, we don't know exactly how it affects you? It's like, I mean,
I have a pretty good idea. I've done a lot of study on this issue.
Yeah, I think I've done a lot of personal study, and I kind of have an idea what the effects of marijuana are at this point.
So, I mean, where are the real, conclusive tests?
I mean, up until recently, it's been difficult for researchers to even study the effects of the
Yeah, I
drug.
believe they only have one federal facility in the U.S. that can legally study marijuana.
See, that's it. It's our own laws prohibiting us from even knowing about it. And then when we try to make progress in legalizing it,
but
they go, well, we don't know what it does to people.
Look, here's the thing, though.
Well, it's an argument from consequence. You're saying it could be bad, so it's not do it.
But I mean, the thing is, so many people have done it. I mean, I'm not saying that it's just beyond the realm of a fucking possibility that there could be any negative side effects of using marijuana.
There could be.
Of course there could be negative side effects. What the fuck doesn't have possible negative side effects attached to it?
I would say smoking weed has the most negative, like actually literally smoking it has the most negative side effects.
But I mean, like, I could go buy a thing of yogurt and start eating that, and someone be like, "Oh, you really shouldn't eat these. That's dairy products, and that's bad."
But here they're talking
or gluten
about
is bad, or sugar is bad, or salt is bad, or anything. There's so many things that you can do with your body that someone is going to tell you, "Oh, that's a bad health choice."
It seems like here they're talking about psychological side effects.
Sure, but it's still. But as we already, kind of got into with the fucking other video, is the psychological and the physiological are kind of interconnected. And it's a physical thing that marijuana is doing to your brain to create the effects it does. And if there's negative consequences of that, so what? I'm willing to accept that if that's the case. And if they become too severe, like, oh, it turns out that, we've done a comprehensive study and people who smoke marijuana lose, up to 10 IQ points over a 20-year period of regular marijuana use, I'd say, you know what, I probably should take that seriously. But until you have some research like that, smoking gun, it's been fucking published in the medical journals, and, it's been peer-reviewed, and the results have been replicated. Until then, I'm not going to take it very fucking seriously.
Right now, marijuana bad. The first searches that come up are, people try and tell you marijuana's bad, but it's right-wing propaganda. So, first off, you yourself are a libertarian, right?
That's correct, except in the area of drugs.
Okay, except in the area of drugs.
Okay. I'm
not a libertarian.
I'm a libertarian when it comes to not paying taxes, but
Yeah, you can have as many guns as you
drugs.
want. Oh, but you want some weed? No, you can't have it.
Right.
That's
What?
That's a dumb position. She's a moron.
You're not a libertarian then. You
Yeah.
want the government to tell us what we can and cannot do with our own bodies. It's only when it comes to keeping money that you're a libertarian.
Right.
You're full of shit, lady.
What she is just probably just greedy.
Yeah. I'm greedy.
Being a
AKA
greedy
libertarian.
bitch is not the same thing as being a libertarian.
If I could write a prescription for it and make money off it, then okay. But if it's some other guy, making money off it, or it's the dispensaries.
I think we all know it's minorities making that money, and that has to be dealt with.
That's obviously because you would probably be more qualified than Sweet Cherry 84 at yahoo.com commenting on YouTube.
So hold on.
I will tell you this.
She's just some random chick. She's not some authoritative voice on this issue. Sure. Okay. You say she's what? Did you say
she's a psychiatrist?
Okay. You say she's a psychiatrist. I believe that. But just because she's a psychiatrist doesn't make her a fucking authority on this matter.
Yeah, I mean, it's just like Dr. Drew. He's a.
I can find you experts that are in many fields that'll fucking get behind some pretty wacky ideas. Just because they have that credential doesn't mean they should automatically be taken seriously.
There are plenty of people that have the same credentials, the exact same credentials,
with
that
a different point of view, right? So that's why we don't just automatically say, oh, well, this person is an authority and I'm just going to blindly accept what they say.
She is smart.
Oh, you're so much more qualified than some random person on the internet that I know nothing about.
Yes. Being raised as a millennial, really, in my generation, we're raised to think it's benign, it's less harmful than alcohol, right? That
It certainly
is. Definitely is less harmful than alcohol.
Okay.
Holy shit, is it less harmful than alcohol?
What are your criteria? Okay, like how many people die from alcohol-related illnesses, accidents?
All right, but even an even simpler example, just compare in your life the old stoners you've known versus the old drunks you've known. And just ask yourself, like an old stoner is like, hey, I'm like this really laid-back guy that just likes to chill in my house and have, conversations. Yeah. Oh, that seems pretty cool. And I burn a lot of incense and stuff. Okay. A fucking lifelong drunk is like out... First of all, they look like 20 years older than they are.
They smell terrible.
They smell fucking bad. They're missing fucking teeth.
And they end up living underneath someone's house.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they
imagine that.
Puke their guts out every fucking night. I I mean, come the fuck on. It's not even comparable. Don't even act like
I've seen the effects of both, and I'd say if I was
I've
had to
felt
choose
the effects of both. Like
sure, and then there's firsthand experience. I've been high. I've been drunk. I
never-
know which
No,
one has the more negative
I've seen people that smoked weed for like 20 years, and
Right.
people have been like alcoholics for 20 years. And I would tell you, I would take weed any day of the week. No contest,
Well,
not even a decision.
I mean, I've woken up so many times and been like, "Oh my god, I'm never drinking again."
Yeah, who hasn't?
And I've never once did that with smoking weed, like ever. I've never been like, "Oh my god, I got this terrible weed hangover." I think the worst thing that ever happened was I was like, "Oh my god, my stomach is so full from eating all that food last night when I was high."
Got a little bit. The munchies were a little too strong.
I guess that's the biggest health problem from smoking too
When,
much.
like-
stuff in your face all night.
Yeah, when I've smoked so much, I had like headaches from weed when I've smoked so much, like way more than I would ever normally smoke. That's the only time I've had any negative side effects from smoking weed.
I think was bad, and it's not anymore. Have you noticed that being a trend right now with young people where they're growing up just thinking, it's like smoking a cigarette?
Absolutely.
What?
Oh, so it don't
Something that
it's
kills
safe,
400,000
like smoking
people a
cigarette.
year is the same as something that does not kill pretty much anyone a year directly. Or I would say no one directly. Maybe like through they smoke it and jump out a high rise, but not from the actual usage of marijuana itself. Does it kill anyone?
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous.
I mean, smoking kills hundreds of thousands of people, millions of people in the world every year.
They think it's just like smoking a cigarette. No, they think it's way safer than smoking a cigarette, and they're right, you fucking moron.
God, he's an idiot.
God, he's so fucking dumb. I can't even believe that he exists and has these opinions. He's like a fucking cartoon character. And the interesting thing is he actually voiced a cartoon character when he was younger. He voiced the character called The Brain on Arthur.
Oh,
really?
Yeah.
On PBS?
Yes.
Oh, hold on. PBS. I wonder if Steven Crowder even supports PBS.
No, he probably does not.
I know.
PBS,
Isn't that
terrible.
hilarious?
Or maybe that's maybe he does because he's worked with them personally. You know, who knows if he does or not. Kind of
like the
PBS is so supposedly it's left leaning.
Kind of like the conservatives that are okay with gay people because
Because they have a gay daughter or
Yeah.
a gay son or a gay brother or
Yeah.
fucking whatever. Then it's all of a sudden,
It's okay when it actually affects their
I
lives.
guess it's okay to be gay because I like this person and they're gay, so whatever.
Greater perception that it's kind of a harmless pleasure.
Right.
And a lot of the young people that I treat in my practice, they're high school students or college students, and they feel it's like having a beer or two. And they actually don't drink as much as they smoke pot now. That's what they do when they go to a party.
They smoke the dope.
Why are they smoking
love
the dope?
to smoke the dope.
I would say, in many ways, beer, just like as far as caloric intake, is worse for your health than weed.
But that's okay. See,
you're drinking
beer
like
is
300
legal.
empty calories in a bottle.
No problem, because beer is legal.
So that's okay.
It's okay.
You know, and they were talking, it's just like smoking a cigarette is what they think. Or, oh, well, they're smoking weed more than drinking beer. It's like, okay, like why is smoking cigarettes and drinking beer better or more acceptable?
Yeah, I'm not hearing an argument there. Can we stop watching this now? I think we've done enough.
No, TJ.
No?
No.
Really?
Nope.
You wanna do
Weekends,
more?
they smoke marijuana. And so I think there's a decreased perception of risk
Mhm.
and an increasing
decreased
embracing
perception
that
of
that's
risk?
part of their culture.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense. I was raised
What?
in
No, it
Montreal, where it's
doesn't.
basically less than a speeding ticket. And this is entirely anecdotal. I cannot point you to one of my friends. It was very common.
Did you hear that, guys? Steven Crowder is Canadian.
Dun, dun, dun. That explains why he's so evil.
A huge portion of, I wouldn't say close friends, people that hang out with smoked pot. Every single one of them
is a loser.
Had some kind of a change in their personality or their psychological behavior by the end of high school.
You mean like they were cool and you were still
a lame ass?
Like in elementary school?
So wait, so because exploring this new frontier of their mind.
Who
with the
doesn't
substance.
change from the beginning to the
Right,
end of high
you know?
school?
No
It's
one.
high
I mean,
school.
but I mean, like,
you go in a
not
kid and
Steven
you come out
Crowder.
an adult.
But I mean, I know what he's saying. He's saying that the drug fucking affects their personality. I'm like, so what if it does?
So does
though?
puberty.
Yeah, there's so many things that affect your personality. Look, I had a friend who got into fucking like rodeo back in the day, and all of a sudden he was listening to country music and shit. Everything you do can affect your personality. What you do with your time does affect you. And you know what else, Steven Crowder? Change is a good thing. It's not inherently
Not when you're a
fucking bad
conservative.
to change. I know that you have this like anti-change impulse and you just want the world to be this like finite concrete thing and you know exactly what's going on all the time, but that's just not how it is. Grow the fuck up, you goddamned moron. Now can we move on?
And I don't know if that's just
Guess
me
not.
as a dummy looking at my friend going, you were pretty smart in middle school and now you're an idiot. Is there some actual neurology there that would back that up?
Shit, being called an idiot by Steven Crowder is a compliment.
I would say in the scientific world, they always say, the plural of anecdote is not data, but we really do have data to support your observations that a lot of your friends who maybe started out with promise didn't end up with their full
like the Hopper
potential.
cam.
And that's the real concern here. Because we're talking about millions of young people who are using regularly, and I define regular use as just once a week.
Okay.
And chillingly, the Monitoring the Future study here at U of M shows that 6.5% or more of high school students are using it daily, not just weekly.
Smoke weed every day.
Hashtag nuke Michigan.
Smoke pan every day. All right, you can keep playing it, but I'm done commenting on it because I've said every possible thing I can say on this subject.
Typical. I mean, it's just conservative alarmism. It's like, these kids are smoking weed. And it's, what kind of society are we going to have when people smoke weed? And
because this is just so dumb. We've poked. How many holes have we sat here and poked in like the first fucking however long we've been watching this
She
video?
says she works at U of M.
Well, sorry for them.
Yeah. Well, I'm sorry for Well, Ryan Wiley goes to school there, so
Yeah, that's what a prestigious school for him.
I know. Oh, Ann Coulter graduated from there.
And Ryan Wiley.
Yeah.
Wow.
Ann Coulter graduated from U of M Law School.
Apparently this must be like Cunt Central or something.
Jacqueline Glenn made a video called "Fuck Michigan."
Based on that?
I think it had to do with just how retarded Michigan is.
Michigan is pretty retarded.
Yeah, Michigan sucks.
I think most places suck, though. So Michigan, I don't know if Michigan especially sucks compared to most
It
places.
sucks.
Yeah.
One of my least favorite states, honestly.
Really? Why?
I grew up on the border of Michigan, and like anytime someone was like driving like a retard, like as a kid, my mom would point at their license plate and be
Michigan.
like, "Look at them, they're from Michigan. Michigan people are shitty drivers." Like, so.
You had that prejudice instilled.
Yeah, I did.
My two least favorite places in the U.S. are very easy: Western New York and Michigan, probably, because like other places that are fucked up or shitty, I can just kind of see why. But like, you literally cross the border from Ohio to go into Michigan, and like people in Michigan, like pretty much anyone I interacted with was an asshole.
That's like the worst part of Michigan, though.
I know.
Like,
That's what I'm saying.
southeastern Michigan.
Yeah, it's a terrible place.
Yeah.
Sorry to anyone who lives there.
Yeah.
Sorry that you live there, not
that's
sorry
what I mean.
for ragging
That's
on
what
it.
I mean. Yeah.
No, I'm not sorry for ragging on it.
Yeah.
Well, the Bible Reloaded are from Michigan, or at
Yeah,
least
they
live
are.
there.
Yeah, that's why we were kind of ragging on Michigan when
With it,
Hugo
well, at
was
least
on here.
Hugo was like, it sucks. It's like, yeah, okay.
It does.
Smart people in a shitty place have realized the place is shitty.
In like the biggest part of the recession, Michigan had the highest unemployment rate. It was just fucking terrible. Yeah, and you think of like there's like 8 million people in the state. So it's
Poor
a pretty
fucks.
highly populated state.
Poor fucks.
Yeah.
And they're fucking, they were rolling with like 7 to 10% unemployment and shit like that. It was terrible. All right. Okay, so the next video we're gonna play here is actually from someone TJ likes.
Weird.
And I like him too.
Weird.
But I don't know. Maybe you'll agree with what he's saying here. I feel like you'll probably disagree with him.
Who is it?
It's Howard.
Oh, okay.
Want to know why? Listen to my voice. Ask how.
Listen to my
It's
voice.
cracking. You want to know why? Ask
How could I not listen to his
Howard.
voice?
the humongous.
He sounds like Jeff Goldblum on crack.
And was on this show, too.
Tonight, and I have written you
Yes.
notes because
Can I have
this is
that?
one of the most important messages I will ever send you. Barack Obama,
thank you,
for all of his good points, and he has many, is a racist.
Go on.
I never thought I'd ever hear him say this because he's like so left wing.
It's probably, I would imagine for him, it's probably the Israel thing.
Yeah, it is.
Because
Probably so, yeah.
he's like such a staunch, like, Israel does no wrong.
Those who see mass murder in the making are accomplices. They, too, are mass murderers. Those who see racism and say nothing are racists. We are pretending in the United States that Israel is a massive nation, that it dominates and smothers the poor Arab and Muslim nations. That is utterly and completely false. Arabs are not a minority, not by any stretch of the imagination. The Islamic world is 1,624 times the size of Israel. Listen to that again. 1,624 times the size of Israel.
I don't think anyone
Okay,
disputes
but
that.
hold on now. I mean, that's fine and all, but the fact is that Israel has much better weaponry than they do. I mean, Israel has nuclear weapons at their disposal. Most of the Muslim world does not.
I think the argument you could probably make is the Saudi Arabians probably have a better military than
Sure. I'm not saying that Israel has a
At least
better
they spend more
military.
money on it.
I'm not saying Israel has and some of it's our money too.
Same thing for Israel, though.
No, that's what I'm saying. In both cases, actually. Isn't that weird how we're funding both sides of these weird little conflicts that go on around the world?
Not really when you think about it, but go ahead.
Yeah, Sure.
The Saudis don't necessarily like Israel, but they're not at odds with Israel as badly as some of the neighboring countries around Israel.
Oh, like
are.
Egypt and Turkey and those countries.
But
that are
look,
close to it.
Like Lebanon.
Let's face it.
Lebanon.
Let's
of
face
course.
it. Among like the more radical sects of Islam, or I don't even know if I'd use the word sect, but among more radicalized Muslims, Israel is definitely viewed as like, this is an enemy state.
I would
This is
say
an
Iran is a big one. For
This is an
sure.
encroachment on, land that should belong to Muslims, and
Yeah, Palestine. A lot of Palestinians, we actually talk to them, though, always say, like, these people in the Arab world say this, but you kind of see for them it's just an issue to trumpet up support.
I would say the government.
It's like the abortion thing in America.
The governments of these Arab countries won't recognize the statehood of Israel.
Right.
And that
Sure.
a lot of people are butthurt about that. So, I don't know.
624 Israels into the Muslim world. This is a giant against a flea. Period. We are pretending that the Arabs in Israel are a minority. What kind of minority is it when there are 106 Muslims in this world?
Okay, well, that's like saying, Chinese people in America aren't a minority in America because there's so many Chinese people in the world.
Right. It doesn't make a lot of sense.
Just because there's more of them in the
Total,
world,
yeah, in the whole
doesn't
world.
mean that in Israel, Arabs aren't a minority.
You got to appraise this shit region by region among the people who are actually living together in one place.
The funny thing is like racially, they're almost the same. They're both considered part of the Semites. Like when they use the term anti-Semitism, you normally think just Jewish people, but Arabs are usually known as Semites as well. So like biologically,
You done just blew my mind.
Muslims, terrorists putting Ben on the hit list.
I've found
said we're the same. Oh, Ben's got to go.
like if you go back far enough into their.
I've talked to people that were actually from Israel, and I would say that in general, when I've talked to them and I've asked them about, Israel's not so great points, it seems like there's like the same way that religious people can't even entertain atheist arguments. People who are supporters of Israel, they don't entertain anti-Israel arguments on any level. It's basically just, no, Israel's good, everything Israel does is justified, and, there's just a lot of examples
nonsensical.
There's just, Israel does a lot of horrible shit, but you know what? America does a lot of horrible shit.
That's what I'm saying. That'd be like every bad thing America did.
Iran does a
we're
lot
like,
of horrible
"Oh,
shit.
it's
North
fine."
Korea does a lot of horrible shit. Pretty much every fucking country on this earth does some kind of horrible shit. So I don't even I'm not even on the side of these people who are like super anti-Israel, but I'm not in this Israel apologist category fucking either.
I say we try to view them as closely as the truth as we can. Like, what are the good things? What are the bad things? And
Yeah, fuck your tribe.
Let's get a realistic appraisal
Well,
of the
that's what I was
situation.
saying. Like, as far as a race goes, they're not necessarily different in that way. It's more of like a religious difference.
Yeah, they're cultural and religious, and there's other differences.
But the funny
Yeah.
thing, it must be, also just like a cultural thing. And I think there must be some sense of racial difference, or at least a perception of a racial
There is a
identity.
perception. Yeah, there's a perception of racial
because,
difference.
Howard's not religious. He doesn't believe that the Bible is true.
But the reason
The
Israel
Torah,
exists is for religious reasons.
Sure, but but he still, despite not being a religious Jew, he still is a Zionist and a supporter of Israel. So it's not a prerequisite. There's something more there than just the religious connotation.
Well, I think the religious connotations created cultural connotations too.
Right. But those cultural connotations obviously can survive even in the absence of the religion that spawned it.
Yeah, it's true. They're not as different though as they appear to be.
No.
They have a similar history,
Sure.
That was just like the thing I pulled up in front of you here.
Oh, Semite, a member of any various ancient and modern peoples originating in Southwest Asia, including the Akkadians, Canaanites, Phoenicians, Hebrews, and Arabs.
Yeah.
A member of any of the people descended from Shem, the oldest son of Noah.
Yeah.
Shem.
I descend from Shem. Shem's my great granddaddy.
For every Jew. What kind of minority is it when you are this big and surrounded by territory the size of an elephant, all of which is committed to your extermination?
No.
That is a major problem.
Not all of
the
which.
word extermination. The word extermination and another word, annihilation, show up all the time.
Okay, hold on.
Even
If indeed the entire Muslim world was just devoted to the destruction of Israel, there would be no fucking Israel. Let's be real.
Yeah.
If all of those countries just said, we gotta get rid of Israel, it would be gone.
Right, because it's
no matter what the
surrounded by
cost.
Arab countries, and there's a bunch of Arabs that live in Israel.
Right, it could easily be wiped off the map if that was truly the will of these countries. So, he's just overstating the case, it's so under siege, and everyone in the entire Muslim world just wants it gone so bad.
It reminds me of the Christian persecution complex in some
Yeah,
ways.
it does.
mainstream moderate Islamic literature in reference to the Jews. Why? Because Muhammad loved exterminating Jews. Every time he couldn't win a victory, every time he needed loot, every time he wanted sex slaves, he would attack a Jewish community. The first 3 times he did it, he simply created ethnic expulsions. He let the Jews go with all the property they could carry on their camels and took everything they couldn't carry with them. Their date palms, their lands, their weapons, and their houses. That's when he was being kindly to the Jews. Remember, we learned to hate ethnic cleansing in the last 30 years. We learned it's an abomination. It was normal for Muhammad. Then Muhammad in 627 AD attacked.
Muhammad was an asshole. No one's even arguing that Muhammad, well, I guess Muslims would argue that he's not an asshole.
Muslims would argue the contrary.
But no one here is arguing that Muhammad was not an asshole, because Muhammad definitely was an asshole.
Yeah, for a number of reasons.
And a warlord and a fucking, child rapist. And a
despot,
number of,
yeah.
despotic.
A horrible person.
Spread his religion at the end of a sword, and, he's a bad guy. But just because Muhammad fucking hated Jews, or... and actually did not even hate Jews the most of all, by the way. The Quran is considerably kinder to Jews and Christians than it is to pagans, for instance. Muhammad hated pagans significantly more than he hated
There's
Jews.
even a story in the Quran where Muhammad meets, I think it was Moses. He has like a vision where he ends up in Jerusalem and he meets like some of the prophets that came before him.
Yeah.
So.
But I mean, look, there's anti-Semitism in some aspects of Islam. There's no doubt about that. I mean, I guess there's plenty of Muslims who are not anti-Semitic. I mean, they are Semitic themselves, as you point out. But I guess what we're saying is anti-Jewish.
Yeah,
might be a better phrase in this regard.
Well, I mean, the phrase anti-Semitism has taken a new meaning.
Yeah, it kind of just does apply to Jews. But
if you talk about Semites as a race, then Arabs would be included in that.
Look, no one's going to dispute the facts. I mean, look, we just had this shooting in Israel, and like, what happened? These Muslims went after Jews, the Jewish grocery store. They've targeted Jewish schools in France. They've done it in Israel.
Sure.
There's obviously a segment of people in Islamic society that want to see Jews gone. There's no denying that. But to say all of them want that is an entirely different story. And I mean, I don't think that's the
picture.
case.
That's the picture he's painting here. It's like, the entire Muslim world just can't wait to fucking stamp out the Jews. I don't think so.
A Jewish town for no real reason, called on trumped up imaginary charges, called the Banu Qurayza. Why? Because they were an easy target. He surrounded them until they finally gave up. And they shouted from their homes, "Muhammad, you are a barbarian. Certainly you wouldn't do anything untoward with us." And they were wrong. Dead wrong.
I mean,
Muhammad,
I could just as easily fucking point out the atrocities of Moses. That doesn't mean like, Jewish people are inherently violent, because look how violent Moses was.
Well, he
slayed the Midianites.
I just pulled up an article about the role of Moses in Islam, and it says here that Moses, he's considered a prophet.
Sure. So Moses is a prophet of Islam. I mean, of course, they say that his prophecy was corrupted, and that only Muhammad has like the true prophecy.
Right. The final prophet.
But I mean, like, the Jews obviously glorify Moses and exemplify him as like, this was this perfect moral man, or he was this great prophet, or whatever. But he was a violent man. If you read the Old Testament, Moses is slaughtering people. Moses is having people put to death for trivial crimes.
Oh, what about pillaging and raping?
Right,
like Howard just said a few moments ago.
Right, that's why I'm thinking about it, because I mean, Moses, Numbers 21 or 31, I think it's 31. And we've actually brought up this passage a few times, is, Moses goes, he leads the ancient Israelites to a Midianite town, and actually his men kind of don't want to kill everybody, but Moses says, no, God said we got to kill all the men, all the women, all the boys. You can have the virgin girls for yourselves, but that's it. I mean, that's obviously brutal and barbaric. These are books that are written in brutal and barbaric times, where brutality and barbarism were more accepted than they are today.
It was the standard pretty much for those times.
Right. So I don't understand how he can say, Muhammad was violent, therefore modern Muslims are inherently violent, any more than I could. I mean, he would definitely find fault if I said, Moses was violent, so therefore modern Jews are violent.
Yeah, that's illogical to say.
So I mean, like, he's just making bad arguments here.
Took the males captive, put them in what seems to have been a basement near the marketplace of Medina, sat in the marketplace, and all day long had every single male, one at a time, brought off and sat there gloating, while his henchmen sawed their heads off while they were alive. In Muslim literature, this is celebrated as an annihilation. This is celebrated as an extermination. It is the reason that the Ayatollah Khomeini, the man who founded modern Iran and whose philosophies are alive as Thomas Jefferson's philosophies are in the United States, alive in Iran.
Thomas Jefferson was a slave owner. Does that mean that everyone's going to go out and own slaves because Thomas Jefferson's philosophies are still alive?
Yeah, I don't know.
It's painful. I consider Howard a friend. I don't want to do this anymore.
You don't want to do it anymore?
No. I think I've destroyed this enough.
Okay. Ayatollah Khomeini. All right.
Shaky cam.
Okay, tonight I would like to touch on something that really taps my ass off.
Tap my
And that is the level in which gay rights has been blown out of the water.
Blown.
Too
Gay rights been blown.
Damn gays and their fucking faggot
Before
rights.
Anybody assumes that I am speaking in some sort of biased pretenses, listen to what I have to say.
Okay, I will.
Homosexuality
if you give me that
runs in my
cigarette.
family.
Homosexuality runs in your family?
It runs in my family.
It runs in my family. My daddy's a queer, my brother's a
if you're
queer, my
saying-
mama's a
If
queer.
you're saying it's genetic, then you should just be like, well, that they have. Even if you were against it, you say, well, that's not their fault. You know what
So
I mean?
like, okay, so obviously he thinks there's a genetic component at least because he says it runs in his family. So, I guess he's at least to that level.
There are many gay people in my family.
Okay.
Okay.
Good job.
I do not happen to be one of them. I am a 100% heterosexual male.
100%.
That makes me doubt what you're saying right away. Like,
You know-
I am 150% not gay.
I mean, look, I know Scotty is straight. I've never once heard Scotty declare, even when we're talking about gay rights or something, I've never heard him say, I am 100% heterosexual.
Yes.
Or any ridiculous such thing. You know,
It's a sort of absurd statement. You know, it's
someone
like,
would just say, like, I'm straight.
that's it.
Why does it have to be like this emphatic, like 1,592% not gay?
The only way you would say that is if
I
someone
have a certificate of not gayness from the University of Not Gay.
The only plausible way I could see someone saying that is if someone like of the same sex came on to you and you're like, I am 100% not going to do this. I am 100% straight. I have no feelings.
Maybe
towards
he's just
men.
afraid someone will hit on him if he doesn't specify.
Yeah, he must be specifying. And look, right now, I ain't a quarter.
Listen up, y'all. I don't suck
I
no
got
dick.
I got
all right?
quarters in my family, but I'm not a quarter.
Don't be confused. Just because the
100%
gayness
not
runs
quarter.
in my family doesn't mean the gayness runs in my anus.
Now, it has come to a point in the American culture where if you are straight, you're almost looked at as if there's something wrong with you.
I feel, Ben, I know that you're also straight. Don't you feel when you go out being straight, people look at you funny?
Yeah, they go, oh my God, that guy likes to be a heterosexual.
What's wrong with these guys?
What's wrong with this guy?
So, look, obviously
This is
I can't. Obviously, I
garbage.
can't answer this because I'm bisexual.
Okay.
But I'm sitting here with two heterosexuals.
This is
Let me just
unrepentant
hold on. Let me just
garbage.
ask you a question, Scotty.
Okay, go
Do
ahead.
you feel that you are being discriminated against in any way by society for being heterosexual?
I find that notion to be completely laughable and silly.
It seems to happen a lot. People who are against
Where do you get these
homosexuality,
people?
they're like, they think because some other group is getting more rights that for some reason that takes away. There's only so many rights to go around.
Yeah, like it doesn't affect you at all.
We
You
want to give
TJ
these people
miserable
rights
fuck.
now, so we need to take these rights from you to give it to them.
It's like, okay, the gay marriage issue, for example. Like, straight people can get married just as easily as they ever fucking could in all of history. So what is the fucking deal? You act like you're losing something by giving it to someone else. It's not like a physical thing that once you give it away, you no longer have it. They're just like, why do you think like a caveman? It's like, if I give them my marriage rights, then I ain't gonna have them no more. Ah!
Well, no, it's not you're giving them rights. You're just saying you're equal to me under the law. That's all you're saying.
But that's what I'm saying. It's like it doesn't affect them. They act like they're giving something up or something's being taken from them just because gay people have more rights. It doesn't even make sense.
Yeah, and it's not more rights than them. It's just the same rights that you have.
It's like gay people can do the same stuff.
Well, remember
you
that's what they're starting to say now. They're starting to say, well, gays have special rights.
And look, I understand that yes, there are some like crazy social justice warrior types on the internet who fucking take shit way too far. But they're in the minority.
A
They're
vocal
garbage.
minority.
They're a vocal minority
They're
of
garbage.
people. And we're just as critical as of them as we would be of your stupid ass.
Yeah.
A lot of people. If you say something that could even be manipulated and twisted into an erroneous statement that may seem slightly discriminating against homosexuality, it's like a hate statement, and there's something wrong with you. Let me give you a good example.
Well,
okay. Oh,
he's gonna give us an
a year or
example.
so ago, I was at not necessarily a party, but just kind of a get together where we were all, having a drink and having a good time.
Is the distinction really important?
A couple of girls that were there suggested that we watch Brokeback Mountain. I said, I'd really rather not watch that. I've seen it before. It's gross. And everybody in the room piped up and said, "Oh, what are you, a homophobe?" "Oh, even the guys. Oh, I'm comfortable with my sexuality. There must be something you have to hide. You must be gay." And just
So.
Yeah, I sound really upset about that, dude.
I mean, like,
pretty butthurt.
The thing is, like, why is it gross? I mean, I mean, like, it's not. If it was like a hardcore gay porn or
it's
something,
just a movie.
I could understand.
I could
that,
understand
exactly.
a heterosexual person
Like,
being
whoa.
uncomfortable watching like just explicit, non-stop gay sex.
As far as I understand, the two actors are actually heterosexual. Or
Yes.
were.
Yeah, one of them's dead.
Heath
Heath
Ledger.
Ledger's dead now.
Yeah.
But I mean, like,
they were.
There's probably like
Or
two scenes of sex in the movie, neither of which is explicit. Actually, there's a straight sex scene in the movie, so there's tits in it even. I mean, like, there's not a lot of like really like strong like, oh, this is like hardcore gay sexual imagery that's gonna make you feel uncomfortable. I mean, like, I would say that, yeah, if your fucking reaction is like, oh, that's gross. I mean, like, I think people have a right to be like, well, that's kind of weird. Why do you think that?
Yeah, I think you could have just said, I don't like that movie, or I've already seen it, or I think it's boring.
Or even if you would say, okay, that movie makes me uncomfortable to watch.
It'd be
that
like,
movie.
okay, look, let me put.
It's gross.
Look, let me
but it's gross.
Let
It's
me
like-
switch the scenario around so maybe you have a better idea of what I'm talking about. It'd be like, I'd be like, someone's like, let's watch Friday or something with Ice Cube and Chris Tucker.
Yeah. A bunch of other people.
Bunch
too.
of other black people. It's a black movie.
Racist DJ.
And it's like, let's watch that movie. It's like, oh no, that movie is disgusting to me. I really don't like watching movies about those kind of people. And then people are like, well, what are you, racist? No, how dare you even
Not
say
me!
that?
I'm not a racist. Come on. It's like,
I mean, sure, yeah, your reason for not wanting to watch it is relevant. If you just said, like, no, that's a boring, shitty movie, which, by the way, I think it was.
I
Brokeback
agree with
Mountain.
not a great movie, but
But, I mean, like, if that was the reason, I don't think anyone would be saying you're a homophobe. But, I mean, you pretty much said, like, oh, that's disgusting. That's gross. I don't want to even, like, see that on any level.
yeah, that
I mean,
does
like,
kind of make you homophobic.
yeah, I mean, like,
sorry.
that's homophobic. I'm not even saying that that's necessarily wrong. I mean, if that's just how you feel and you can't even control it or whatever,
Yeah, sure.
then, fine. But people are still perfectly entitled to question that about you. And I'm surprised that instead of leading to some, introspection about, like, why do I feel this way, instead of that, you're just automatically on the defensive, like, fuck you for even questioning me.
afraid to come out of the closet. Okay, so just to prove him wrong, I went ahead and watched it. Once the movie was over, I said, all right, so since that's a movie you appreciate, I think I have something that you would appreciate. Let me run to my house real quick and grab my computer. I'll be right back.
Oh, my God.
Ran to my house, grabbed my
Please
computer,
tell me
came
this is
back,
not
and
happening.
I pulled up 2 Girls, 1 Cup. For those of you who do not know what Two Girls...
Okay, so you're equating Brokeback Mountain to Two Girls, One Cup?
So you showed...
Oh, you're funny, dude.
So you're showing an actual movie, an actual work of art, and then you're comparing it to obvious pornography, and you're saying it's the same thing.
It's like scat porn, isn't it?
Okay,
Yes.
so... By the way, why did he have to go back to his house and get his computer? Didn't they have a computer?
He must
Maybe-
have like had it saved to his.
I don't know, but I mean, wouldn't he just find it online? Shit. But I mean, like, yeah, literal shit, actually. Yeah. So you showed them like lesbian scat porn to make some kind of point about how you shouldn't have had to watch Brokeback Mountain, which is not porn, which is actually a legitimate film that's like a serious dramatic movie. And you think that you see like an equivalency there. Yeah, I would say you have a pretty fucked up mentality when it comes to gay people if you think that watching Brokeback Mountain is the equivalent of watching lesbian
Look
scat
at his face.
porn.
Look at his. He's like, I got him.
I got him.
I
good.
got him fucking good.
funny.
I made me a good old point right there,
so
fellas.
is he trying to say it's okay if girls are gay but not guys? Is that like his thing? Like, well, I like this movie.
I think he's just trying to make them sit through something that disgusts them as much as Brokeback Mountain disgusts him.
I would say the fucked up thing is that Two Girls, One Cup doesn't disgust him at all, but
or
Brokeback
does.
Mountain
We don't
does.
know. We don't know what his position is.
Well,
on
he's
that.
all happy about
Oh,
it.
watch this guy.
He's happy because he subjected other people to it, though. Let's hear what else he has to say.
One Cup is. It is, in a nutshell, two homosexual females engaging in homosexual acts, including but not limited to eating their own shit and each other's shit. Like literally shitting in each other's mouths and eating it.
Okay.
And that's not
And
gross, right?
the people I was showing this to had never seen it before, and when it got to that part, they were immediately enthralled and disgusted. Oh my god, dude, that is so gross. Why would you show me that? What sick motherfucker would want to watch that? So I said, what, do you have a fecal phobia? I'm comfortable with what I like to eat and what I don't like to eat. See where I'm getting at? Now,
No.
point I'm trying to make is, let me give you a little clue
Wait, hold on.
as to way
Is the point that you're a moron? Because you've made that point extremely well. But if you were trying to make any sort of other point, no, you failed completely and utterly. Sorry.
Human brain works. When you're watching one of those skateboarding videos where, like, say a skateboarder tries to ollie down a big set of 17 steps and his leg misses the board at the very end and snaps his leg clear in two, you know, bones poking out, you know, what's your first reaction? Oh my god, damn, that must have hurt. Oh, you know, you feel that pain.
This motherfucker's got a gold tooth.
And I'm, you know, my first reaction when I see someone get hurt in a skateboarding video is usually laughter, but
because
maybe I'm
that's the way
just
your brain
evil.
works. Your brain subconsciously puts yourself in that person's position.
He's talking about empathy and
Now,
empathy.
what
mirror
happens
neuron
when
type
you
shit,
are
right?
a heterosexual man and you're watching a pornographic video of a man having sex with a woman? You get turned on by this because the first thing you do is you put yourself in the mindset of that man. You
or
put
in
yourself
your case, the woman, whatever.
You get turned on by that big throbbing cock. I mean,
Hicks did a great, like, little trick around that. He'd be like, go to his friends that hated gay people, and it's like, you guys like porn? And
Yeah.
they'd be like, yeah. Let me ask you a question. When you're watching porn, do you like it when the guy's got, like, a little flaccid dick that doesn't even work, and he's trying to fuck the girl, and he just can't get it in there? And they're like, no, man, I like big, hard cock. Oh, my God.
His play is having sex with that woman, and it turns you on. What's the first reaction when you see somebody firsthand fall down and hurt themselves real bad? Ooh, you feel that pain because that's the way the brain works. Same thing with homosexuality with a heterosexual mindset. When you see two men engaging in sexual activity, the first thing your brain does is put yourself in one of the guy's places, imagining partaking in that homosexual act.
Okay, stop.
No, maybe that's what you do.
Whoa, I think we're getting deeper into the
Yeah.
mystery here. Like, I'm 100% straight. When you see that act, the first thing you think is taking it in the ass. Like, no, actually, I just
Okay.
don't watch stuff like that. But even if I did, like, instead of like Brokeback Mountain, I'd be like, it's part of the movie.
And that's not porn.
And also, it's like
there's
if
so
I see
many
someone
things
killing
wrong with
someone
this
in a
right
movie.
now.
I don't think of like I'm gonna go kill someone or whatever. That's how it works. I'm like, this is a work of art. This is fiction.
Also, like, even if you're putting like. Even if you take it the interpretation like, oh well, he's just you have to empathize with this character or something, like, so what? Like, it shouldn't that be like part of, like, isn't that like kind of the purpose of art is to immerse yourself in someone else's mindset or someone else's ideas or see the world through a new set of fucking eyes?
Sure.
And yet it's like, oh, I'm so afraid of doing that.
I'm scared.
I don't get it.
And it's like, watch, two girls, one cup. It's like,
just-
it's not the same
There's
thing.
so many angles you can come at this from and just explain how it's wrong. It's just like, he's wrong. He's wrong across the board. He's wrong because there's no equivalency about the stuff he's talking about. He's wrong because it's not even a negative thing, and he's wrong because most people are not, like, a straight guy watching fucking Brokeback Mountain is not going to become so empathetically involved with the character that they literally start to feel like, oh, I've put myself in that homosexual relationship in my mind. Like, maybe to some extent where you identify with the character, but you're not gonna be like sitting there literally like imagining yourself in that gay relationship. And if you are, then I hate to tell you, but yeah, you are repressing some homosexual feelings. Next.
That's the way it works. Guys, don't
Nope.
lie.
Nope.
Don't lie. That doesn't make you gay.
Yes, it does.
That's the way it
That's
works,
not
and
how
that's
it
why
works.
it's
That's how it works for you.
It's disgusting.
You're stupid. Next.
Yeah, this does not make any sense.
I can't take it anymore. It's done. We've been on. Look, it's not like we haven't fucking delved into it. We've been talking about it for the last like 10 or 15 minutes.
The funny thing is like when we have a video that pisses you off, you don't want to watch it, but that's what we do here, right?
I've watched plenty of it.
Okay.
How much have I watched? I've watched a million years of this bullshit.
I know the truth though, TJ. It's because
I'm attracted to him.
No, I was
No, it's because TJ's gonna start empathizing with homosexuals. And what's gonna happen next?
I can't. I look at him and it's just
what's gonna happen next, Ben?
I just imagine me grabbing those ears and just stuffing my cock down his
in
gullet.
20 years,
Oh yeah.
TJ's gonna be buying kids Coke, taking them to a park to look at pornographic cards and go fishing. And then, but at some point,
Fish your
TJ's
little
gonna get his
butthole,
claws in
yeah.
and that 15-year-old kid, and
homosexual.
he's gonna have to do sexual favors for TJ. She just like
Here's a little question.
why?
Why does everyone think that victims of rape are making it up? I literally do not get it. Well, maybe I do.
So you're gonna make this blanket statement and say, why do people think this? It's like no one thinks that every person that says I have been raped, the common reaction is not you're a liar. Where's the evidence? The common reaction is if someone says that, like, so what happened? What do you mean? And it's like, well, this thing happened to me. It's like, oh, okay. And then you're trying to say, like, well, that's terrible. No, most people, when they talk about rape, do not talk about it in a positive context. It's not like, you were raped? Fantastic!
But, I mean, like... the attitude she's talking... The funny thing is, like, the attitude she's talking about is just, like... the attitude that should be the cornerstone of every criminal procedure, which is don't just assume that someone is guilty just because an accusation has been made against them. Actually investigate it.
Yeah, you're supposed to be innocent until proven guilty.
Green here. There's kind of a huge awareness movement happening right now around sexual assault. If you haven't noticed, come join the living. One of the highest profile conversations has been about Bill Cosby. 35 different women have accused him of sexual violation. Close to 90 universities are also under federal investigation for failing to address sexual assault on their campuses. Now there's a new documentary out, which I'm dying to see, called The Hunting Ground, which profiles several students who have been assaulted. By telling their stories, The Hunting Ground may be directly confronting one of the biggest barriers sexual assault survivors face. Nobody believes them and thinks that they're lying.
That's not true. I'm sorry, that's simply not true. We've had the UVA rape case, which there was found to be no credible evidence. And was it the police just showed up and were like, oh, Look, these guys made this. They said this thing. We believe these guys. Women are liars. There's nothing to investigate here. We're done with this. That's what happened, right?
We've covered several stories here where men have actually gone to jail because they were falsely accused of rape. So there obviously are false rape accusations.
I don't think anyone should just immediately believe or disbelieve.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, why can't you have a neutral attitude towards it? You can even say to the victim, look, I believe you, but we have to find proof or evidence.
Because TJ, the minute you do that, the minute you do it with anything these feminists have latched onto with any nuance, you're a rape apologist. These police departments are not believing the rape victims. They're saying you need evidence. The evidence is right in front of you, and you're just not willing to look at it.
When it comes to a legal matter, it makes no sense.
They don't care.
It
It's
makes
an
no
emotional
sense.
argument. It doesn't
makes
matter.
no sense to adopt this position that's like,
They don't care.
Yeah, I know they don't care, but I mean, like, they should, because if you just adopt the position of, like, everyone should just be automatically believed if they make this particular accusation, that's a horrible, illogical thing to do. It has nothing to do with being misogynist or supporting rape. It's just not logical. You're being a fuckwit. You're being so fucking stupid and close-minded when you have this opinion or attitude like, oh, we just have to believe anyone who claims to be a rape victim. As if it's impossible to lie about. As if there are no reasons anyone would lie about it. We've seen time and time again that women do lie about it. I'm sure there's probably men that lie about it too. I mean, look at that. I mean, like, look, the fucking classic example on everyone's fucking mind, or at least it should be on everyone's mind, the UVA rape case, where a girl identified only as Jackie told a story, and Rolling Stone, without even investigating it at all, just printed the fucking thing, and because of that, new rules were instituted on the University of Virginia campus, and the frat house that was accused falsely was graffitied and threatened, and bricks were thrown through their window.
No way, TJ. Nobody believes rape victims.
But you're going to sit there and say no one believes rape victims when all it took was a simple accusation with no evidence behind it, an accusation that has been shown to be false at every turn. That accusation spiraled so out of control that people's lives were being threatened, and bricks were being thrown through windows, and graffiti was happening, and the schools were instituting new policies and fraternities.
And you know what? And for the sake of nuance, and you know this will be the attack line, what about when it does happen? What happens when these victims are ignored? I'm sure it has happened.
Of course.
I'm sure that's happened.
I heard a rumor that our system of justice is imperfect.
Yeah. And I would, like anyone else would strongly condemn that, but that doesn't mean that we have to blindly accept one narrative.
Well, remember, we covered the one story where the guy went to jail and his mom killed himself because she thought that her son was like this horrible rapist, murderer.
Yeah. A terrible story.
And he was innocent.
Yep.
And he was innocent. But this doesn't happen. Remember, guys, nobody believes them. This doesn't happen.
35 women have spoken out, and Cosby still has ardent defenders and gets standing ovations on his national tour. Think about that. If 35 women can come forward and still be doubted, what chances?
It's not even so much about people doubting him. It's that people adore Bill Cosby regardless of what he's done. You know, he's been around for like 50 years now.
Look, I mean,
look, Laci
some
Green,
people
there's a legal standard for these things. There has to be evidence of a crime. Laci, if someone accused you of stealing something from them, would you want to be just imprisoned without evidence? Would you want, okay, Laci, well,
or
some people saw you around the area, so we have to take their word for it.
Not even in prison. Let's say, oh, well, someone accused Laci of stealing something, therefore you shouldn't watch her videos anymore and you shouldn't support her. You know,
look, even I would not watch Laci anyway.
Well, no,
but
I'm saying,
even if I was like, look, if I heard like, oh, Laci Green, like, you know, she like ran a bunch of people down in her car, but if I was a fan, I'd probably still watch the fucking videos anyway. Because it's just like, it doesn't matter to some people. Like, some people, they don't want to support, actors or entertainers or whatever that have done or said things they don't agree with. I really don't give a fuck.
Yeah.
I don't care. You know, I can separate the person from the fucking shit, the work they've done. And if I went to a Bill Cosby show, it wouldn't be because I doubt those women or I think they're lying or anything like that, although I don't think there's any concrete evidence to prove that they're telling the truth. And we've seen that, in certain media hysteria situations, people, false victims will come forward. But I actually do believe the accusers. But if I went and saw Bill Cosby's stand-up, it would be because I respect him as a fucking comedian. It doesn't mean I endorse him raping women or drugging them. Of course I don't.
One woman have. I think Jay Leno laid it out pretty nicely. Quote, I don't know why it's so hard to believe women. Go to Saudi Arabia and you need 2 women to testify against a man. Here, you need 25, unquote. Even more interesting is the fact that literally nobody paid attention to these women until a man, Hannibal Buress, spoke up about it. P.S. I do love Hannibal. Can I please have his babies? Thanks. Seriously.
What a sexist statement.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you just view him as like a baby machine.
A sex
huh?
object.
Just an object to put babies in you.
How disgusting.
But the thing about the fucking Bill Cosby thing is like I'd heard about those accusations before, and obviously it wasn't until recently that a bunch of people came forward, and she's acting like his reputation is just untarnished by that or something. Bill Cosby's reputation is in the fucking mud.
It's been destroyed.
Bill Cosby is like the punchline to every rape joke now.
Even before this, there was a few scandalous things that had happened. Like I remember, I think it was like 2000, 2001, it had like come to light that he had like all these children that nobody knew about. Like he had fathered like a bunch of kids in secret.
Secret kids, just like Arnold.
Yeah. So,
but I mean, like the thing about it, she's acting like Bill Cosby's just like, unvarnished reputation. Like he was doing a sitcom that got canceled. He was doing a stand-up special for Netflix that got canceled. A bunch of people who had bought tickets to his shows actually didn't even show up to his shows. And they're not selling out as quickly, and his reputation points status on there's like sites that measure like how positive a reputation of a person
Didn't
is.
he have like a new sitcom deal in the works?
Yeah, he
too?
did, and it got canceled because of that. So I mean, like he's suffered tremendous social repercussions in terms of his perception. Even I don't look at Bill Cosby the same way as I used to. And I used to watch the Cosby Show and shit. But now when I watch the Cosby Show, it's never gonna leave my mind like that dude's probably like a mass rapist. I mean, it doesn't prevent me completely from enjoying the humor if I like the joke or whatever. It's not like it's not funny anymore. But obviously it changes your perception of him. So I don't understand her narrative of like, he just gets away scot-free and no one believes these women. Plenty of people believe these women.
Let's talk about someone whose reputation was totally tarnished. Michael Jackson.
Right.
Yeah.
Rape accusations that even the fucking alleged victim came out and said were false.
Yeah, just
later on.
my father told me to say it, basically.
Yeah, but did it ever go away? No.
No, it never went away, and it like totally ruined his reputation. People believed he was a child molester for the rest of his life.
So I mean, like, if anything is the problem, I think we have a problem with just maybe it depends. Maybe it's probably context dependent, but it seems like a lot of times, at least, we have a problem believing victims who are not credible or believing alleged victims who are not actually credible. I think we have a bigger problem with that than we do with never believing the victim.
Though, y'all, why don't people trust rape survivors? I think there's a related trend here. People don't trust women.
That's a really big assertion.
It's not only women getting raped.
Yeah, that's also a really big assertion. People don't trust women. Do you think? I mean, do you guys really think that's true? Like, if a woman tells you something, do you say,
We've covered stories where like a man can't sit next to a child alone on an airplane.
Yep.
And you're saying people don't trust women?
I just don't see that. If a woman told me something, I wouldn't just be totally suspect of what they said. Like, it's a woman telling me. It's hard to know the truth.
Most of my
it's a joke.
of my teachers throughout school were women.
Right, mine too. It was. I mean, that was actually like considered. It was like considered a woman's job for a time, and there's kind of still holdovers.
Kind of like a
of that,
nurse or a secretary. Like traditionally, those were considered women's jobs back in the day, but now there's a lot of men doing them too.
Sure, and that's good. I mean, that's progress, whatever. But the thing is that. I don't understand this idea like, we're just conditioned to have this arbitrary distrust of women. I mean, if anything, people are just distrustful of fucking everyone. I mean, like, have you ever been on the fucking internet? People don't believe anything that anyone tells them. People don't believe the media. People don't believe the government.
Even when there's evidence.
Shit.
Even when there's evidence. Someone made that evidence up.
Hell, people don't even believe in evolution, which is fucking proven. So yeah, we live in
Just
we
a
live on a
theory.
planet of very skeptical motherfuckers that it's hard to get them to believe anything. It's not because you're a woman; it's just because they're hard-headed idiots.
Okay, TJ, show me when a canine became a non-canine. That's all I have to say. Evolution is not proven, reprobate.
Evolution, bitch.
Fucking
A super
reprobate,
viral
TJ.
video showing how a woman was treated walking down the street for society to acknowledge that, okay, maybe street harassment is a real thing. Studies have demonstrated that
No one
even
ever
in
said
the
it
face
wasn't. It's not a huge epidemic, though.
I've been harassed walking down the street for having long hair and looking like a girl to
Dude,
people.
I've had people harass me for no particular reason on the street. There's been times I was walking down the street and people will just like throw shit out of their car or yell just because they're assholes. It has nothing to do with the fucking you have a pussy or not.
hard evidence, men still don't believe that female scientists face sexism in the workplace. They think that women are making it all up. The society-wide belief that women are liars stems in part from the belief that women are overly emotional, irrational, crazy, or hysterical. Over at Very Smart Brothers, Damon Young writes about realizing his deeply held belief that women aren't as trustworthy as men. He cites women's crazy overreactions being the butt of the joke in stand-up comedies, the plot line of books and movies, and the crux of most of the conversations he's had with other men about women.
Okay, women do have crazy overreactions sometimes, but so do men.
Yeah, absolutely.
And like this is a character flaw. It has nothing to do with your gender, really. This is like a personality trait. I don't think there's. I mean, like, I just don't. I don't buy into this fucking narrative that like, oh, men think this and this is how this happens, and you don't have anything to fucking prove it.
So, Too Long Didn't Read version, women aren't crazy liars, men aren't inherently more trustworthy just because they're men, and using this bullshit against people who are victims of a violent crime is messed
Okay, hold on. Let me just point out something. I agree with every single one of those points. The only thing I disagree with is your notion that society feels otherwise. Society says women are crazy. Society says men are more trustworthy. Society says that victim blaming is cool. What society is fucking saying that? Where? Where is it? It's certainly not here. Fuck you. Next.
Laci Green lives in a bubble.
God, she's dumb. Everyone we've been addressing today is just dumb.
TJ, when I play videos where you agree, well, first of all, we did play Howard's video too.
But I disagree with that too.
But if I play,
I'm just a contentious little fuck.
If I play nothing but people you agree with, you're like, I don't know what to say about this. I agree with
I
it.
agree with
but
that.
if, but
You're
if
right.
I play what's good and
You're
what'll get
right.
your reaction, you're like, I'm done with this person. Next. And you told me it's because then you'll end up saying things that may be misconstrued.
But this one's over anyway.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's not like there's anything more to even say. It's over.
I skipped through a couple minutes.
I know
of
you
it.
did.
All right.
What were we gonna do? Skip back and watch?
No,
shit?
fuck no.
No.
That's like, no, oh God, why?
So don't be fucking saying it's me.
It is you.
It's not.
I'm skipping through it because of you, because I could already see you like.
You can sense it.
I can. Well,
You can see it. I'm not. It's not hard to see.
I know.
Caged elephant is rocking.
Yeah, the caged elephant.
The elephant is rocking in his cage.
Even more so than usual. That's my first indication.
Yeah. I mean, you know, I like Laci okay on like a personal level, but some of the shit she believes just drives me up the wall.
Yeah. All right, so
I mean, I don't really know her on a personal level. I'm just saying, like, I don't see any reason why I would dislike her as just like a person. Like, I feel like if we could talk about things outside of feminism, we'd probably agree on a lot. But
I know people who have met her that say she's cool. So I mean, like, I think it's. I mean, she's not at. I wouldn't put her at like Anita Sarkeesian.
No, I would not either.
No,
but you know, I mean, some of the stuff. I mean, like, this is. Come on, this is fucking ridiculous.
I used to think her videos were funny back in the day, like 7 years ago.
Oh
6,
yeah,
7
yeah,
years ago. I don't know.
She lost her confidence after she tried, you know, because a lot of people don't know this about Laci, but she actually started off as one of the atheist vloggers back in the day when like the atheism.
She was
thing
like
big.
she was like a former Mormon I think she was just like a teenager,
right,
at the time.
And anyway, she had a pretty good channel and she was doing good stuff. And I mean, like, she went after me, but whatever, you know, everyone was going after everyone back in those fucking days. But then there was this thing she did where she tried to go after Venom Fang X, and Venom Fang X made a video that just fucking schooled her. Even the atheists were like, fuck! Venom Fang X just pwned the shit out of Laci Green, and it's like the first pwnage he ever attempted that was actually successful. And after that, and we used the word pwnage back then. I'm
Right.
using it because it was the parlance of those times or whatever.
Of the days.
You
of
got
the early
bitch.
internet.
But she did this. She was the only person, the only atheist to ever get pwned by Venom Fang X, and it really destroyed a lot of her credibility with the atheist community. And then she started doing this feminist shit. So I really think it was just her like backup plan, and it's actually worked out well for her. So whatever.
Her old atheist channel still exists out there too. The Go Green
18 or something,
something like that.
Yeah. Something like
All
that.
right,
Some kind of
so
bullshit.
by the way, as far as Q&A goes, I'm not getting as many questions, period, but I'm also not getting very good questions. So I do have a bunch of them lined up. I think we're going to do it like once a week now instead of every episode.
Yeah.
And
send some better questions than you fucks.
Don't ask us if we like cats. Don't ask us like simple yes or no questions like that. It's like,
but also don't ask questions that are so obscure we can't possibly answer them either.
And
3175 guys. What do you think?
We're not like scientists or anything like that, so don't ask us like. I mean,
Or you know what? If you're gonna give us a video where there's a concept in it that we might not be familiar with,
Right.
at least give us a quick rundown of that concept so we know or have some fucking point of view to answer from. Okay, that's all. But yeah, send in more questions.
I guess they passed a law in Indiana recently.
I just made a video about it.
Yeah, he just made a video.
You, TJ.
Sorry.
Hate you. Fucking TJ. TJ doesn't tell me what videos he puts up. I know. Piece of shit.
It's gonna be going up tomorrow.
Oh, okay.
Or tonight, probably. It depends, I guess.
All right.
Drugs, they say.
You ruined the show, TJ.
Are made in California.
All right, let's see. Here's a Fox News clip that's pretty good.
We also ought to be sensitive to people whose religious beliefs would preclude them from carrying out their duties in their business, when forced by the government. Would we force a Jewish sign maker to make swastikas or no, it's a legitimate thing. Or more to the point, we make a Muslim business owner handle pork. If
Where is allowing someone with a sexual orientation into your store anti-Christian, for example?
Oh, here's Alan Combs. He's he hits him hard.
That's like if there was a video game where you play a conservative character, he wouldn't even be the boss of the first level.
He would be Glass Joe.
He wouldn't even be on that level. He'd be like one of like those easy sauce enemies you fight in like the first level.
Why?
How is that anti-Christian?
Why can the government shut down a baker whose religious beliefs preclude him from baking a cake for somebody who's having the same
It's your place of public accommodation, that's why.
Well, and the public's a very important word, but hasn't the government, the Supreme Court at least, in its Hobby Lobby finding, didn't it find that for your religious beliefs, you can abstain from certain
Supreme Court
things?
has been wrong as recently as much as it's been right.
All right, but what about Utah? What about Utah's religious freedom restoration?
It's so funny, like, we made social progress back in the 50s and 60s. Throughout that time frame, we started making progress. And now, like, conservatives want to take us backwards to, like, make it okay for businesses to discriminate against people. Maybe you'll be able to have, like, whites only, coffee houses again, or like whites only water fountains and bathrooms again.
Just make it your religion. That's all you have to do.
Yeah.
Our religion says only white people. Are
What's
good.
funny too is like it's like a Muslim business owner handling pork. It's like, okay, no one was saying that the people who own the bake shop had to become homosexuals to bake the cake. That's obviously no one would be in support of that.
You can't just compel, like, if this is a Muslim grocer, where's the pork? We don't sell any. Oh, that's discriminatory. No, that's stupid. That has nothing to do with this. This is about refusing service to someone for reasons that are basically bigoted and discriminatory.
That has nothing to do with your business. It has nothing to do with your business.
Right, it's none of your fucking, like, if you sell shoes, it'd be like if a black person walked into your shoe store and you said, I don't sell shoes to blacks, you got to get out of here. No one's saying,
which was legal to do at one time.
Sure, yeah, okay.
Separate but equal, yeah.
It shouldn't be embraced now. It shouldn't be embraced just because, we don't like gay people because it's against our religion. Well, too fucking bad. You shouldn't offer a public service then.
Yeah.
If you're not going to serve the public, if you're not going to serve the whole public, You know, I can understand like, oh, we have to kick, you know, this person out of our store because, you know, they're whipping their dick out and hitting the merchandise with it or something. That makes sense.
No shirt, no shoes, no service.
But you cannot discriminate against someone on the basis of I don't approve of their fucking, you know, social behavior.
Let's hear Alan Combs lay the smackdown.
Oh, yeah,
on this
I'm
guy.
ready.
Lay it down, Alan.
Being denied freedom here. Tell me who's being denied freedom.
Somebody is being denied a freedom to bake a cake or take a photograph if their religious beliefs preclude them because of
So
they
can I
believe
have
in
the freedom
traditional
to not let a
marriage.
black in my store or a Jew? Can I have that freedom? Can I have a freedom not to allow a Christian in my store because I don't like what that person stands for? Can I have that freedom?
Why did the LGBT community support Utah's Religious Freedom Restoration Act? It's the same thing. This is arguably an extension of the
and
Clinton
19
laws.
other
Because they're in Utah? I don't know. I don't know. Yeah,
I don't trust anyone.
This was the
on
guy
Fox
they
News.
had to balance Sean Hannity, Alan Combs.
Yeah, this timid little.
Yeah, the guy on the left. For those of you who aren't familiar with him.
states.
You know, he's making he's making the point that needs to be made. Really, it's just
he does it in such a passive, friendly way.
But I mean, it's like, you know, fuck this. No, you don't have a right to fucking discriminate against other people in your fucking business. You are a fucking vital part of the community. You offer a fucking service. If you're gonna offer a service, you have to offer it to the fucking community in general. You can't just say, I'm not gonna sell to this random person because I don't like them. And I know they have these signs in places like, we reserve the right to refuse service to anybody and shit. But, you know, unless there's some compelling actual reason why you're not going to serve a person, they should be allowed to use your fucking service. If they're fucking doing something that is like a detriment to your store or is going to hurt you in some way or is making you like uncomfortable in an understandable way, like if the fucking gay people said, yeah, we want a giant penis cake, it'd be acceptable for you to say, no, we don't do that here.
Yeah, go find an erotic cake shop. Or
right, you know.
Yeah, we'll make your cake, but we don't want to make
say
that
like,
cake.
oh, we're not going to make the same exact wedding cake that we would make for anybody else because we don't approve of your lifestyle. Fuck you. That's not your right, you pieces of shit.
Have similar laws.
And
We
they're
just
absolutely
remember
wrong.
recently that Arizona, Jan Brewer, the governor there, vetoed that law, but 19 other states have it.
And Alan, why do you roll your eyes at making a Jewish sign maker make a sign for a skinhead rally?
Because that is not the same thing.
Why would skinheads go to a Jewish sign maker to do that
Yeah,
anyway?
they wouldn't do that anyways.
Oh, yeah, let's pay the person that we hate money to make a sign.
Okay, there's
for
no
us.
equivalency between
I know.
gay people and swastikas. That's a fucking
just a
false
stupid-
equivalency. It's the dumbest fucking argument.
And not to mention, like, you can actually see there why the person, okay, the Jewish sign maker, why they wouldn't want to fucking do it. There's a very good reason.
It'd be more like the equivalent of a Jewish sign maker saying, I'm not going to make a sign for a Muslim because I don't approve of Muslims.
Yes,
Exactly.
That is a better
That would be a
comparison.
fucking
That's what I'm
equal
saying.
analogy. Them making a swastika is not an equal analogy. It has you know, they keep trying to draw these fucking obviously false dichotomies that are so stacked and loaded in one direction. I mean, these Fox News people, they just, I don't know if it's that, I always kind of sit there wondering, like, are they evil or are they really this stupid?
Evil.
I mean,
They're not
I
all
usually
of them.
side with evil.
There's no way all of them can be that stupid. No way.
Evil fucking scumfucks pandering to the lowest common denominator of shitty, horrible, bigoted, evil, goddamn worthless waste of space Americans, most of which are fucking octogenarians whose minds are half fucking gone. Fuck Fox
Again,
News.
you know, bringing up Nazis is always a default position.
Yeah, it
That's
is.
so true.
It is. Like, a lot of people do it. A lot of
Oh, of
conservatives do it,
course.
but I hear liberals do it too. I mean,
I'll bring up the Nazis. I mean, the Nazis are such a
It's such an extreme example.
right, but I mean, like, you have to use it when it's actually fucking appropriate. You know, either that or you have to do it when it's such an exaggeration that it becomes a joke. Which in this case it would be, except he's presenting it seriously.
All right, so we've been on for 2 hours and 36 minutes.
That's probably fine.
All right.
Unless you want to answer a question or two.
No, we'll do questions on Wednesday.
Do questions on Wednesday.
We'll have a bunch of them then.
I feel like we should do at least one more thing before we go.
Okay. Let's see here. I have. Looks like somehow the passport details of various world leaders has been released.
Weird.
Yeah. We can either do that or we can do the shooting, like the NSA shooting. Did you hear about that?
No, I didn't hear about it.
There was like a shooting at some NSA headquarters. Something weird. I don't know. Let's do the passport one.
The Australian government has some explaining to do after Britain's Guardian newspaper published an embarrassing report revealing that Australia's immigration department released the private details of 31 heads of state, including U.S. President Barack Obama, Russian President Vladimir Putin, the prime ministers of India and Indonesia.
And Obama said he was born in Kenya, right?
Yeah,
Yes,
that's what
of
his
course.
passport actually said.
Chinese leader released this all in an email to the organizers of a local soccer championship. Now, a spokesperson for Australia's immigration
fucking
department
awesome.
confirmed that this security breach did in fact take place, confirmed it to CNN. The details that were revealed in the email were basically the passport numbers and visa numbers of 31 heads of state.
You know what,
that were-
man? Fuck them. I'm glad it happened. Because, these are the same people that fucking want to spy on us with the NSA, want to know every fucking email we send, every text we send, obsessed with fucking destroying any semblance of privacy in our lives. So when it happens to them, good. Fuck them.
Well, I mean, these were a bunch of world leaders. I don't know.
It's a global phenomenon at this point.
They're one government.
I'm not saying they're all one government, but people who get in positions of power tend to be of one mindset, because you only get to power really if you fucking
I know for a fact
stab every fucking back on the way up.
I know for a fact that our government was spying on some of these other governments, like the German government. We were spying on them for sure.
And the Germans were spying, and the fucking
Not on
Japanese
us.
are spying, and the Chinese. They're all spying. Yes, of
Oh,
course
they're
they're
all
spying on
spying.
us.
I remember
they have their own intelligence
maybe not to the same
agencies.
scale.
I remember
but they're doing it.
It was probably like 5 years ago or so. There was this huge story where we caught like a bunch of Russian spies.
Oh,
and one of them was like a hot chick, and she became like super famous because of it. But we didn't prosecute them. We just basically deported them.
Like, yep.
Yeah,
back to
because
Russia.
you know why? Because the next time Russia finds a bunch of our spies, we want them to be like, hey,
time to go back to
we
America.
we sent back your spies, guys. Come on. Fair's fair.
In the case of Snowden.
But Snowden requested asylum.
Right.
And obviously, Russia just did it to fuck with the Obama
He's
administration.
been there a long time too. It's crazy.
He really can't go anywhere else in the
He
world.
has actually said that he will come back and face trial if he can have a real trial,
do it, Snowden.
jury of his peers and all
Don't
that
do
shit.
it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Not gonna happen.
Going to be attending a G20 summit that Australia was hosting last November. Now, the Immigration Department officials also confirmed that this was released in an email sent to the Asia Cup football tournament organizers that Australia was also
I love that this
hosting.
leak is over such a fucking silly thing. I mean, like, it's just funny to me, like, that no one can keep really anything under wraps anymore. Like, that's like the consequence of the information age, is that everyone lives in like total transparency. And anything that anything about you is going to be revealed eventually.
Documents
for sure.
obtained by the Guardian newspaper include a report resulting from an investigation conducted by the Immigration Department, in which an Immigration Department official advises that the leaders whose personal information was leaked, that they not be informed about the security breach.
That's awesome.
Provided
That's
ammunition
probably a big
to
mistake.
opposition politicians.
Let's
in
hide
Australia.
this. You're not going to hide
this
it.
group of really powerful people, let's hide this from them. No repercussions could come back to us. That's a really stupid decision.
I mean, like, honestly, though, it's a stupid decision in retrospect because they got found out, but if they hadn't been found out, it probably would have been the smart decision.
Yeah.
Let's be honest, these people are heads of state. They can get new visas and passports like they can snap their fingers.
Give us new
questioned
info.
Whether or not
That's
the
it,
Australian
yeah.
government can be trusted to hold on to personal.
Well, you guys want to
information.
I think we
go
know the
to
answer.
the post show.
Yes, we're gonna go to the post
And
show.
please, if you enjoyed the show, give us a thumbs up.
Become a patron.
Share us with your friends.
Do it now. You got one
Do it
day.
now.
Get to the chopper. Do it now.
Yeah, be sure to check out our Patreon. That is linked to in our description section of this video. And we got a lot of neat little perks and shit. And the only way you could see our legendary, and I say legendary here, legendary private shows, the only way you can see our next one is if you become a patron before the end of the month. So do that.
Which tomorrow would be the last day of the month.
Tomorrow is the last day.
Yep.
Your last possible chance. So get on it, bitches. See you in the post show, iTunes listeners.